Awesome. It worked. Okay, you're going to have to let me know if you can hear me. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. There's supposed to be a chat box widget also. Right there. That should be right in the middle of the screen, and I don't see it. Can everybody hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. I have absolutely no idea if you can hear me. You can? Okay. I swear, this stupid... At least I figured out how to live stream and I have a background, but I'm supposed to have this little chat box that's right in the middle of the screen, and I cannot for the life of me figure that part out. I don't know why. I just can't figure it out. Oh well. Oh my god. Hey, okay, Xena, Ronnie, Phantom Zone, and I Hate Clowns 911. All right. I don't know how much of a delay there is. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to get here, but yeah, so I had to go back to work this week, so it's been a little bit crazy, and you know how when you try to do, I don't know, 15 things at the same time, it's kind of hard to manage your time. I don't know who else has a channel and a full-time job and is also studying for something else, so it can be a little bit hard to compartmentalize everything every single day. I try. Gling, hey! It's not supposed to start till 10, but we're still going to give everybody a chance to get here. So, how's everybody doing today? I just want to do this cool intro like I was a nighttime DJ. You're on with Duchess Dark. Taking your requests now. I wish I could figure out a way to have a one of those 800 numbers and have you guys call in. That would be amazing. I don't know what I do with my phone. Not that I need it, but I did bring it in here with me. I'm in my bedroom. We're live from my bedroom because it's super comfortable. I don't know why the background is so large. Maybe that's why you can't see the chat. I swear to God, I figured out a way to make the chat display in the... Let me see. I'm going to try and make it smaller. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if this thing's moving around now while you guys are watching it. And then if it will still, like... I don't know. Let's see. All right. Now, did it change the screen at all? No. It didn't do anything. Anthony McLeod, hey. I don't know who's here, who hasn't been here in a while. Anthony, you haven't been here in a while. I don't think, right? Oh, you can see me moving the thing now. That's funny. Yep, still can't see the chat box. Oh my God. I just got my phone fixed yesterday. The battery was bad and I couldn't use my phone much. Oh, that is the lifeline, is it not? Man. Although, I tell you what, like, if I'm too busy and I can't talk on my phone, that is probably one of the best days ever. Just because it just seems more relaxing, you know? I don't know. Desktop audio, Focusrite, chat box. I cannot figure out this stupid chat box. I swear, the next time I live stream, which, I don't know, I guess that was a month ago that I live streamed. I don't think it was that long ago, was it? Anyways, hopefully by the next time I will have figured out how to have the chat displayed right on the background. Tonight I have for you guys 2 different sets of stories. The first one is Don't forget to set the alarm. 17 true scary stories to read in bed tonight. And the other set, I used to let everybody vote, but that kind of took some time, and I have like I went and searched for stories so I could plan it out the next several months in advance, and then I had to go back to work. So, um, I don't know. That just gives us more stories. So, um, the next set of stories is 27 doctors and nurses share the goriest and most disturbing things they've seen while on the job. Maybe I can talk softer than that because I've been at work all day, so I've been using my full volume voice all day long, and so talking softer is kind of soothing anyway. Had to take it out of town, and during this pandemic, I was scared. Yeah, it's very stressful knowing that you have to go out at all during this. And I don't know if you guys know this. Many of you normally do know that I live in Michigan, where people are literally protesting having to be safe. Yeah, so if you're one of those people, you can fuck right off. I don't want you on my channel anyway. I am someone who has no choice but to have to be out in the pandemic. And I don't know if you guys also know this, but my stepdad had gotten COVID, and by the time he displayed any of the symptoms, he had already tested for being negative, but having already had it. So by the time he had shown any symptoms, he had already had it. So what happened was, after the COVID was testing negative, then his fever spiked. Then his heart started giving him issues to the point where he had to go into the heart unit overnight in the ICU for his heart. And then he developed fluid on his lungs, and then he got an infection in his muscles, and now he is home. And I don't know how you can send someone home like that, but now it's a waiting game. Your son and his wife had the virus. It's so scary. We're just waiting. So, unfortunately, I think there's a lot of people that won't take it seriously until it directly affects them. I'm very grateful for people who have common sense and are considerate to people, even if they're not sick, or even if they don't think they can get sick, but they're considerate enough to think, hey, I don't want to give this to someone else, and they wear a mask. So on behalf of my family, thank you for being someone who is thoughtful enough to do that. I know that you don't directly affect it, but the thought process is like, there was a lady today that said, I give my hands to God. That's why I don't wear a mask. And I felt like saying, well, God told you to put a mask on, and he also created you with free will. So I don't know. It's so hard to keep my thoughts to myself. Me too, Ronnie. They both had mild cases. Thank goodness. Yeah, when I got tested, I tested negative, by the way, but it took 5 days to get my test results. The doctor, I think I talked about this last time, but the doctor said there were 7 different kinds. I mean, I could have literally spoken to that doctor all day. It was very fascinating to speak to someone that was so knowledgeable, but he was very upset because many of his friends had been on the front lines since the beginning, and they couldn't see their children. And they had already lost several close friends to it because they were directly exposed to it for a long time, and probably before they even knew what was going on. Bospheus Jones? Oh man, this is the highlight of my night. Really? Bospheus Jones? Am I saying that right? Have you been to the channel before? Thank you for coming. Hey. I've been explaining to everybody. I'm giving everybody a chance to get here. I figured out the live streaming because YouTube changed it all, and I wanted to give everybody a chance to get here. But I've been trying to explain to everybody. I had to go back to work this week, so I ran out of time to do any kind of videos. So it takes time, and I like to do them a specific way. Was it last week I didn't put any numbers on the stories, and you know how hard it was to just put the video up like that and be like fine with it? It was so hard to just be like, it's fine. B. Busta doesn't put numbers on all his stories, and everyone likes his narrations. So I just tried it out to see how it did. I don't know. You guys are going to have to let me know. Bocephus. Oh, I love that. Bocephus Jones. I swear, like, are you someone that I know? I swear, like, I always wonder if my friends or family sneak into these and don't tell me, because I always figure they're going to have hilarious usernames. But I'm pretty sure that old Southern name and stuff. As in Hank Williams Jr., Bocephus. I love it. Oh, did you guys like that? Oh, cool. So I can do that now. I don't need to number my stories anymore, because that really does literally save like a half an hour to 45 minutes, because if it's a long video, you have to go through and find each break and then add them one by one, and it's not just to go find the break in the audio and add a number. You have to go and find the title, and then the title has words on it, so you have to delete the words on the title and then make it the right size. It's just, I don't know. It saves quite a bit of time if I can just put up audio with a video in the background. It saves tons of time by being able to do that. So just some good old boy from Virginia. 10:02. So did everybody get their mom something for Mother's Day yet, or is everybody going to rush out in the morning and panic and get something? I'm just curious. You guys are going to have to tell me if something happens to the thing and you can't hear me, okay? Because, again, this is kind of new for me. It's only the second time I've figured out this live streaming format. Zena, you're biased. No, I love you guys. I'm very sorry, Gling. You know, years ago when I worked in a grocery store, and people are always shocked when I tell them this, and I worked through Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve, and St. Patrick's Day, and the biggest liquor selling evening was the night before Mother's Day. I've never seen people buy so much liquor. It is a very touchy and traumatic, deep-seated issue with many, many people. So Mom told me from the great beyond that it's all cool. That all is cool. Got ya. 30 years. Wow. That's a long time. What, Ronnie? Oh, man. Thank you. Oh, you know what? I forgot to check. There was a guy whose story from Reddit he's one of the Redditors I've found and asked permission to, was asking if his story was going to be up Wednesday. And I told him I ran out of time, so it would be up the week after that. And I forgot to go back and see what he said to that. That's fine. Don't worry. He said, oh, thank God. I thought he might be upset. You know, there was a lot of drama going on with like YouTube and Redditors, because Redditors had started like a blacklist. Because I guess there was a lot of stealing of stories, but it's kind of like this really cloudy line to where I guess people didn't think that they should ask permission, because those aren't like, they're not getting paid, you know, they're just like putting up their stories for people to read, and then people were going and using them and not asking. And I have found, and that's not 100% of the time, but I found that 99% of the time, if you find a story and you just message the author, they will let you read it. Just let them know when it's going to be up. That's how I found the stories for Chilling Tales for Dark Nights contest. I just found a really great Queen of the Moths A really great author who's got a website. And the only thing I wish is I wish that Chilling Tales for Dark Nights would have linked her website and her Reddit info. Her Reddit, like how they have like collections of their stories. There's like a link for their, I'm not saying it right, but I think you guys know what I mean. So they could get like more traffic, and I don't know, I think it's only fair. Bocephus says, so I was in Iraq back in the day. Felt my mom was in trouble, didn't call her. Found out she had a stroke. Was unreal. And then she passed a few years ago. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bocephus. Element. Hello. We are giving everybody a chance to get here. I started a couple minutes early because I wanted to make sure it would work. So, I just cannot figure out how to like set it up for a day in advance, because once I can only figure out how to do it right now. Like I can't figure out how to schedule it and then like walk away from the computer and trust that all the streaming equipment will stay up. I'm still learning it. What branch? Yeah. Oh. I feel like, you know how people are saying, people on the front line in retail are heroes. And they're like, I can't believe they're treating retail people like this. And I'm thinking, you know how they've treated the military for years? Yeah, get used to it. I feel like anybody who has served in the military should not have to come back from war and have to search for a job. Once you have served, you should have no more worries. You should be taken care of like the kings and queens that you are. For sure. And definitely doctors and nurses, they shouldn't be having to worry about student loans and other bull crap like that either. Like, no one who's serving other people should be lowest man on the totem pole. So maybe that's one of the bonuses to this, is that people that have always been the low man on the totem pole that's been getting crapped on forever will have much more light shed on them. But the military has always been treated that way, which is super, super shitty. So I'm not really sure how we can fix all of it. I don't. 97 to 17. Military intelligence. What branch? What does MOS mean? The Army was. Have you guys ever seen that story on Diamond Dallas? Diamond Dallas Page has like yoga he invented. Not a style that he invented, and he's always showing the one guy who used to be a paratrooper, and after so many jumps, he became disabled as a result. But he started doing like Diamond Dallas Page's yoga, and it helped him build himself back up. Is anybody familiar with that specialty? It all comes down to money. It's really kind of sad. Well, you know what's really kind of sad is the fact that these government officials live like kings and queens, and everyone who's paying tax dollars just puts up with their crap. That used to be a volunteer position, but I'm not going to get into politics. I've had a very relaxing evening after a very crappy day, so I'll get myself all worked up and ruin all of the progress I made relaxing myself after work. I knew that guy. You did? The guy from Diamond Dallas Page's videos, you knew him? Holy crap. Yeah, I got Diamond Dallas Page's yoga after that. And there's funny because it goes into phases, and just the first phase, learning all of like correct poses, the first time you do all the correct poses, because you have to, his yoga style is flexing all of your muscles while you're in the pose. So your whole body's shaking. So the first time that you do this, you're learning all the correct poses before you do the actual yoga. Your body's sore the next day unless you're someone who's already fit in the first place, because you're using muscles you never use and you're using them into the extreme. It's crazy, because he's like you use your own body as weights. You don't need to lift weights. Use your body as weights and you'll be the strongest person you know. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. I know a lady whose husband became paralyzed when he was a paratrooper. Yeah, I don't think it's probably good for your body to continuously jump out of a plane and land on the ground. I think it does obviously catch up to you. How is your body doing with that, Bocephus? I don't know if my husband knows that everybody... Can you guys hear him? Sometimes he'll go downstairs and mess around with his guitars, and he'll put on 70s rock in his ears, and then he'll play his guitar along with it. But then he starts singing, and I don't know if he knows it. I can hear him. So if you guys hear a in the background, that's just him way off in the distance. Outrum Stepler. Outrum? That sounds like a contest. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. And happy Mother's Day and anybody out there. I meant to. I already posted it, but I was going to put Mother's Day stream. Let's read horrible stories together for Mother's Day. But hey, isn't that what Mother's Day is all about? Everyone will have their own horror story to tell tomorrow night. Just joking. I know that's terrible because some of you are missing your moms, but there's some people. Oh man, I'm sorry. Anyway. Ooh. Henry Vang. There's a lot of new people here tonight. My wife is like that with me when I play my guitar. Oh God. She can hear you in the background. Hey, thank you, Henry Vang. Hey, thank you. I asked him to come in and read stories with me. He's like, no, I'm not good at that. Because I've had him on the channel a couple different times. And he starts, I don't know, we've had fun. Way long time ago. We played Cards Against Humanity with other people on there. I have no idea how to screen share. Maybe I'll figure that out. That'll be the next thing I figured out with this. But I think I'm going to start reading some stories here in a second because we've given everybody a nice long time to come into the thing. I didn't share this anywhere, though. So let me share it, and then we'll start reading some stories. Are you guys ready to read some scary stories? If my voice doesn't go out on me because I've been talking really loud all day. Oh boy. I don't know if you guys can hear me if I back away from the microphone. Oh, there we go. Hello. Hello. You're on with Duchess Dark. Can you guys hear me if I whisper all of the stories? It's a lot easier on my throat. Oh, Lord. I don't know how long I could keep this up. I'm just going to start laughing at myself. ASMR. Mouth noises. I'm just sharing this on my Twitter and my Facebook. And, oh, I almost put it on my regular page. Oh, no. No. ASMR with Duchess. What's no? Are they good stories? Come on, Element. You're not new here. Element. smartass. Mouth noises. That's the name of my old high school band. Oh, shit. Oh, that's hilarious, though. Like loaded diaper. Loaded diaper. Shout out if you get that reference. I'm moving the mic around. Hopefully that didn't ruin anything. All right. Are they good stories? Come on. All right. I forgot to share it on Instagram, so I don't know. I just figure if people like to hear me read that, they'll show up. I don't know. It'd be nice to have like enough followers to where I didn't have to be like, I wonder if people are going to come and listen, but I'm glad you guys are here. So, hey, us 8 people will read some stories. Scary stories with a graveyard. Yeah, I was trying to also figure out how to have music in the background, but I don't always read the whole time. As you can see, I'm very chatty this evening, and I'm not sure why. I'm missing Damn Gypsy. And hey, Henry, thank you. Also, if anyone has a YouTube channel, please let everyone know. Anyone that's got a YouTube channel, Henry Vang, thank you very much. Superhero, it's amazing. Ooh, my stomach just made a weird noise, and I don't know if the microphone caught it or not. It just went la la la. Oh God. Oh my God. I'm fairly new subscriber. Enjoy your stories. All right. Thanks, Sandra. Yeah, there's quite a few new people here tonight. There was someone that joined one time and they're like, why are you reading these horrible stories? And they didn't know that it was a scary story channel. And then I felt kind of bad because I know that sometimes people just get on looking for live streams and they don't know kind of what they are, I guess. I don't know. But welcome all the new people. Yeah, quite a few. Okay, so we have 2 different sets. The first set of stories is Don't Forget to Set the Alarm. 17 True Scary Stories to Read in Bed Tonight. And the other one, 27 Doctors and Nurses Share the Goriest and Most Disturbing Things They've Seen While on the Job. We're going to save those for last because I think those are going to be the most disgusting and most memorable. Plus, the first ones might suck. If you're new here, you might not know that sometimes stories are not always what they claim to be, and they sort of suck. We're just going to shout out people that are here and have channels. How about we stick to that one? Thank you. Oh, now he's upstairs singing along. Just singing. No guitar at all. I do that while I'm cooking. Does anybody else do that? Does anybody else do that while they're cooking or anything like that? Oh, I almost heard myself. There we go. Okay. Thought I heard myself for a second. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Hey. Oh, there we go. I can hear myself now. Now I can hear myself. I don't know what happened. Something's wrong with these headphones. That's for sure. All right. I think everyone that's going to be here is here. And we're going to get started. We are starting with, I'll come back and check the chat in a moment. We are going to start with, Don't Forget to Set the Alarm. 17 True Scary Stories to Read in Bed Tonight. Might have to shut the door in a moment because my husband's in the kitchen getting ice from the freezer and singing along to I don't know what song. Anyways, back to the story. The first one is called, and you'll have to stop me if you've heard this before. You might have. Sometimes I find stories and just collect them and forget about them. Might have read them, might not have. This one's called The Blood-Covered Lady. This happened to a friend of mine. It was about 1 a.m. and he heard a noise outside his front door. His front yard is really dark, so he looked through the peephole rather than opening the door. Common sense, thank you. He couldn't see anything but could tell something was below the peephole. He decided to open the door slowly, and as soon as he did, an older lady whose face was covered in blood and only wearing a t-shirt, no underwear or pants, tried to run into his house. He slammed the door on her and called the cops. While waiting for the cops, he kept looking out the little hole on the door, and every so often she would scurry back and forth on his front lawn. I wasn't there, but I picture it like the alien at the birthday party in Signs. So the cops finally show up and detain the woman, and they get to the bottom of the story. It turns out the woman was his neighbor, and she was extremely drunk. She had been drinking and locked herself out of her house and tried to get back in by breaking the windows with her face and hands. Okay, someone who's here regularly has to tell me, have we read this before? No, I had tried to get music to play in the background too, but I just couldn't figure it out. If you can find Glitch in the Matrix stories elements, send them my way. I have tried since you've requested the first time to find more of those, and I just can't. Christian, haven't commented so long. Hey man, welcome back. More Bigfoot and Skinwalker. I haven't done Skinwalkers in so long, so I might be able to find some fresh ones now. Let's not meet stories are lame. All right, cool. Excellent. Maybe it's, and sometimes when I find the stories and save them for later, I read quite a few of them just to see if they're okay before I save them. And as you all know that are regulars here, sometimes I just find them and read them with you, and I have no idea what we're walking into. So that might be the case later on in this set of stories too. So all right, so let's see what this one's about. This one's titled They Had to Bury Her Quick. My family has lived in rural Nebraska since they immigrated from Germany in the mid-1800s. Near the turn of the century, disease was pretty rampant in the homesteading area, and it killed off members of almost every family. When someone died from illness, time was of the essence in burying them as to not let the virus spread from the deceased to the living. Does that sound familiar to anyone else currently? Yeah. This meant no wake periods, excuse me. So an aunt of some unknown number of greats preceding her relationship to me dies of some disease, if you can understand that sentence. She gets buried in the family cemetery on the homestead. The dogs were not very fond of her, so it wasn't too surprising that after the funeral, the two dogs stuck near the grave. The rest of the family began to think something of it when a week and a half later, the dogs were still visiting her grave almost constantly. But they weren't just at the grave. They were visibly distressed, frantic, and often barking while there. This goes on for maybe 2 weeks, when the family decides to check it out, dig up the casket, and open it. The deceased hair had all been pulled out, her fingers raw and bloody and mangled where, on the inside of the casket door, they can see deep scratches in the wood. She was comatose when they had buried her, and she came to while underground, spending probably her last 5 or so days alive, buried in a casket. Sorry, not a basket. Holy crap. Oh my God. And that's why there's bells on headstones now? I mean, gross. Ugh. God. Glad I made it. Gotta go, guys. Aw, Henry, thank you for coming, though. Put the annoying mutts next door in the Matrix. They won't shut up. All right, let's see. What's this next one titled? There's so many ads on this website I'm on here. Simon says, run. When I was about 7 years old, I went on a walk with my babysitter. We were walking back a mile or so to my house on a fairly busy road, and about about a halfway there, she says, we should play Simon Says. At first, we walk faster, then skip, then jog lightly. Then he says, Simon says, run as fast as you can. Simon says, turn here. I was slightly confused, but played along. As we turned down the driveway, I looked back and saw two guys chasing after us, one with a bat and the other with a knife. We ran up to a house, and some old people living there let us in, thankfully. At the time, I didn't grasp how fucked up it was that we were getting chased, and I still have no clue who they were. Holy shit. Can you imagine that? And the reason you were saved is because a little kid's ghost was telling you to run? What? That whole story was fucked up from 3 different angles. Jesus. Oh my God. I gotta take a sip of water here. I don't know how good this mic is. Hopefully you didn't just hear me swallow water. If not, ASMR. Water sounds. Straw on metal cup. Maybe someday there'll be like a vote option in the chat. That would be interesting. Okay. Let me see here. This one's titled The Lights. I've noticed that almost any time I'm walking alone at night through my town, street lights turn off as I pass them. Not all of them, but enough to make me think something wants me to be in the dark. Oh my gosh, that's all there is to the story. I thought there was more, but because there's an ad below it. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, next one is called They Didn't Know I Understood Spanish. This should be interesting. About a year ago, in my final semester in college, I worked at a department store in the mall. I didn't have a car yet, so I asked for a day shift because it was a 2-hour bus ride back home. Oh, that sucks. So basically, if I had a closing shift, I'd get done at 11, but not get home until 1 a.m. But sometimes I'd be given closing shift, much to my annoyance, since I had a 6:45 a.m. class and my mother's worry, because who wants their kid on public transport that late? Sometimes she could come and get me, but it'd be too much of a hassle to get my younger sisters out that late, so I didn't ask her. Oh my goodness. So, my managers, being the jerks that they were, gave me a week of closing shifts, knowing my situation. I was pissed, but whatever. One night I had just finished my shift, got on the bus, sat in the back, and was minding my own business when my iPod died. I was annoyed, but just kept my earbuds in and occupied myself by playing a crossword on my phone. About 2 seats behind me, I heard these guys speaking Spanish. Now, my stepmother is Puerto Rican, so while I understand a fair bit of Spanish, I don't speak it. So I hear them talking, but I don't pay attention because it's rude to eavesdrop and all, until they say, "That black girl up there," then my ears perk up. Keep my earbuds in so they think I can't hear them, and I continue listening. What they're saying is horrific. To paraphrase, they knew my stop, second to last one before the bus gets back to the terminal. And while my stop is at the front of my neighborhood, it's got no streetlights, and at this time of night, empty. And to put it simply, they were planning on snatching that piece of ass up. I was about 20 minutes away from home, so I knew I had to act quickly. since I knew they could see me. They were 2 seats behind me, but like a cross, if that makes sense. I pretended to play on my phone, oblivious while I was actually texting my mom. Mom, please meet me at the bus stop. 5 minutes go by. No answer. We're getting closer to my stop, so I decide to call her. No answer. I call the house phone and she finally answers. It's about 12:30 in the morning and she was asleep. I try to talk as cheerily and calmly as I can. Mom, did you get my text? No, what's up? I sent you a picture of these jeans I'm going to order online when I get home. I really need your opinion, so I really need you to look since the sale ends at 1 a.m. She finally gets the hint that I need her to look at her cell phone, so I say goodbye and hope for the best. We get to my stop and I see my mother's car. I snatch my shit up and hightail it off the bus. I don't even look behind me to see if they're following me. I jump in the car and tell my mom to just go. I look in the rear view and I see the guys staring at the car. The next morning I called my job and told them I quit. No more public transport for me. Thanks to my stepmom for teaching me Spanish. And thanks to my mom for getting the hint. And weird Spanish speaking guys, let's not meet again. Oh, I didn't know it was one of those stories. Because this isn't on Reddit, so. Yikes. Yeah, I think I've heard that story before too. I'll have to send you the tale of the time I encountered a dinging in Iraq. That's like a, is it Iraq's version of a skinwalker? Did you ever come up with a name for your subscribers? Nah, I don't know. I already feel like it's kind of pretentious that my name is Duchess, don't you think? And the only reason I did that was because I didn't want it to have like creepypasta or something in my name, just because it seemed like everybody else did. So I didn't want to get lost in the shuffle. So, hey Paul, hey, how's it going? All right, we're gonna go on with the next one. Let's see what this one's titled. Okay, yeah, I've definitely heard that one before, and then the one after it was the one about, it was a human trafficking one, but it's been around for a while. I'm going to skip like a couple of pages ahead here and see. Feels like I just recently read those two. There's so many ads on this website, it's not even funny. Hold on a minute. I don't think I've heard this one, so you're going to have to let me know. This one's called The Man on the Hatchet. My stepmom, we're going to call her Macy, grew up as a kind of privileged teen in the 70s, and her mom had moved her family over here to the States from England when she was about 9. She went to a pretty nice school in a really nice town. There she made friends with a girl named Lily, who didn't exactly run with Macy's type of crowd. Popular, stereotypical, etc. They really hit it off, and Lily would take Macy out to do her type of stuff like hiking, fishing, sailing. There's even a hilarious set of pictures with them camping. My stepmom has raccoon eyes and looks like she hates everything. Anyway, because of Lily's influence, the two of them would do stuff like that a good amount. One Sunday, they decided to go hike in some hills about an hour away, and Macy put on what I'm sure were her extremely expensive hiking boots, and the two of them drove off to the hiking trails. Lily parked in this big clearing with the makeshift parking spots, like pieces of wood marking the head of the space, but there were no other cars there. This is important in hindsight. They start hiking up the hill, off the path, because Lily fancied herself as something of a badass. Shit, I went too far. Hold on. The hike was nothing extraordinary. If you asked my stepmom, she would just lament for 15 minutes how sticky and buggy it was. Anyway, they reached the top of the hill, and my stepmom was done. The polished Pampers side of her was coming out, and she groaned until Lily begrudgingly said okay. They would rest and then walk down together, slower. They had been heading down the hill for maybe 10 minutes when Macy started bitching again. Lily conceded to walking down the side of the road instead of the rough hiking trail. So there they are, probably looking like a couple of tools geared up for hiking and walking down a crappy road. And after not even 5 minutes, a truck pulled up next to them. Red and rusty and just generally looked like a clunker. The guy driving rolled down the window and the girls looked in through the passenger side window. He had a big beard, baseball cap pulled down, and long brown hair. He greeted them and even smiled through his beard, asking if they needed a ride. Macy described him as charming, even cute. Lily still says the moment he greeted them, her hackles went up. Despite her better judgment, my stepmom convinced her to get in the truck. It must only be 10-minute drive down to the car tops. So the two girls opened the passenger door to this rusty old thing, and the guy directed them behind the seat to get into the back. They settled in, and the truck started rumbling forward. Lily always says that was the point it hit her, what a mistake they had just made. The back seat was clean enough, but there were a rope on the floor behind the driver's seat, and 4 boxes of saran wrap half hanging out from under the passenger seat. That seemed creepy and weird. But Lily didn't want to freak out my stepmom, so she just kept her mouth shut. After 10 minutes, the woods didn't look any clearer. They hadn't seen another car the entire time. And Lily asked how long he thought it would be. He said he was taking a different route down the hill and had to stop somewhere to get something first. That was it. The girls were 16 and 17, and Lily didn't want to press the issue. She was scared. She can remember his hair because she was sitting behind him. He looked like a woodsy guy, but his hair was super tangled and dirty. She noticed crusted mud on his collar and tried to find something identifiable about him, but just got scared the more she picked up on little details. He was youngish, strong-looking, and had a 1. I don't understand what that means, had a 1 on both of them? I had a foot on both of them, sorry, it's the way it's written. So they didn't ask any more questions, and he didn't offer any information, and they drove on. Several minutes after that, they reached a tiny shack, log cabin-looking place right there in the clearing of the woods. There was an old stump where someone had been chopping wood and a huge axe stuck in the log. Lily was definitely on red alert now. The guy turned off the truck and slipped out of it, saying, "I'll be right back. Don't get out," and disappeared into his house. Lily tried to talk to my stepmom. Sorry, it has to load again. Lily tried to talk to my stepmom about how she was incredibly uncomfortable, but she mostly dismissed it. Lily started begging, increasingly freaking out, and finally put her foot down, demanding Macy exit the truck with her. So they got out and walked around the front of the vehicle. The house was 50 yards in front of them. Why this guy would have left 2 young girls in the truck alone while going into the house is beyond me. They wandered around looking at it, hesitantly. If this guy really was decent and just trying to give them a ride, it would be super rude to just run off, right? My stepmom had the strict upbringing when it came to manners and a public persona, and she saw it as an issue of that nature. So she actually started to head back to the truck, opening the front door to climb in behind the driver's seat. Lily was pissed off and followed her to yell some more. On the driver's side floor, half hidden under the seat, was a big hatchet. It had dried red-brown stains covering the blade, and it was stuck to the floor under it. Ew. Lily understandably lost her shit, and seeing it, my stepmom started getting hysterical. They decided that leaving was by far their best option at this point, and just booked it off. into the property, into the woods. They bumbled around in the trees for a little while until they were fairly confident they were on their way back down the hill. My stepmom cried the whole way down. Lily felt bad about it, but was also completely freaked out that he would hear it and kept trying to calm her down. When they finally got back down to the bottom and saw the old wooden fence that surrounded the original parking area, they were relieved. But as they got closer, they saw it. The truck. It was parked on the other side of the gravelly makeshift lot, just sitting there, facing the other way innocently. They couldn't see if anyone was in it, and of course, Macy wanted to run for the car. But Lily was super hesitant. She managed to calm down my stepmom, saying she wanted to wait before running out into the open to see what was out there. Remember, this was the 70s. No cell phones. No ranger station or anyone around. The parking lot was big and empty and open. And who knows what would have happened if they decided to stroll across it. Thankfully, Lily convinced my stepmom to chill, and the two of them hunkered down against a big tree, hidden by bushes and other trees, and waited out for what seemed like hours when dark started to fall. All of the animals started coming out and making noises, and my stepmom, predictably, started getting antsy about this and bothering Lily, who was tired and moments away from giving in. She was just planning their dash to the car when they heard a clunk across the... She was just planning their dash to the car when they heard a clunk across the twilight-lit lot. They watched as one of the back doors of the car swung open, and the bearded guy slid his way out of the back seat. He got out, shut the door, looked around the surrounding woods for several moments, then walked back to his truck. The truck lumbered past their car and out of sight. Several minutes after watching him drive away, they sprinted to the car as fast as they could, jumped in, and peeled out before they had even shut the doors. Jesus. I know I've read that story before now. Holy crap. Oop. Hello, whoever's... Hey, Mandy, hey. If anybody... Lady Gothic? Did I miss anybody else? If anybody else is here, I didn't say hi to you. I'll have to go back and read some of the points in here. But, yeah. Pretty sure I've read that one before. All right, Bocephus, if you're talking to me, I will look for that on Instagram. Thank you for coming. Anyone who's here, I didn't get a chance to say hello. Hello. We are reading... Don't forget to set the alarm. 17 true scary stories to read in bed tonight. And after that, we are reading 27 doctors and nurses share the goriest, most disturbing things they've seen on the job. And I think we're about halfway through with the 17 stories, only because I think it's something I started before and then we didn't finish it or something. Element and I agree, we've heard those ones before, but not all of them. And some of them are older, so you have to forgive me. My voice might poop out halfway through here, but I'll just keep going. You'll have to listen to me like this. Metal cup, metal straw. I'm sure it sounds very awesome right into the microphone. Slurpy noises. Oh my goodness. All right, this one is titled Australia's Backpacker Killers. This happened a couple of years ago when I was backpacking in Australia. Had a bubble in my throat. Let's see. I traveled around driving a van like many backpackers there do, as it saves a lot of money with accommodation. I usually slept in rest areas, gas stations, or wherever I could park. This one night, I'd been driving for a few hours and started to feel sleepy. I decided to then stop in the rest area in the middle of nowhere. Parking that location during the daytime could be a great idea, but at night it seemed like a horror movie location. There were no cars parked there. I know I should park where there are more people around. I was very drowsy. There were also no lights whatsoever. I turned off the engine and closed the curtains of the van. It wasn't long before dawn. It was not long before dawn that I heard some heavy knocking on the side of the van. Open up, it's the police. Nothing wakes you up faster than that. My heart was racing. I was just adjusting to the adrenaline rush in my system when they repeated the heavy knocking, saying it was the police. My first thought is that I parked somewhere I shouldn't have, but then again, it was the middle of nowhere and it was a rest area. Before opening up, with my mind telling me that that situation was weird as fuck, I decided to go slowly to one of the windows and look through the gap in one of the curtains. I could clearly see the shape or shadow of a guy standing beside the van. His car wasn't too far, but it didn't have any lights or flashing lights on it. This guy was definitely not a cop. Bringing up the courage I had left, and I just shouted, "Get the fuck away. I've got a gun and I'm calling the cops on the radio." I didn't have a radio or a gun, but that seemed to faze him. I saw him getting back in his car, and to add to the creepiness, someone came out of the bushes and also got in the car. They left, and a few minutes after that, I turned on my van and drove in the opposite direction they went. Safe to say, I never slept in another rest area that didn't have at least a couple cars parked there. I don't know what those people wanted, but with Australia's history of backpackers, serial killers, very happy to be here today. Yikes. That's terrifying. I don't think I'll ever be like someone who just goes off in a van to sleep by themselves in the middle of nowhere. I mean, just because I've read too many of these stories, but I think that if you're someone that's got a bigger faith in humanity than I do, it sounds amazing. If you're blind to the dangers of the world, raise your hand if you're someone that's that brave. I don't know if that's brave or stupid at this point. I'm at work listening to you. My coworker said the same thing. She loves your voice. Hey, thanks, guys. I want to be home while I'm listening. You know what, though? You can just listen to it back. It'll be playing back. But it is nice to interact in the chat. I do like that. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the things I enjoy about Livestream. I don't enjoy when I'm reading and I mess it up because I can't edit it out. But hey, raise your hand if you've had to sleep in a rest area or like in a parking lot because you were driving somewhere and you just thought, I can make it there without it. Hey, Alicia, how you feeling, girl? Feeling all right? Hope so. I won't spill your beans. You can if you want to, but hopefully you're feeling okay. All right, we are, I think, more than halfway through because we kind of started in like a quarter of the way in. Don't forget to set the alarm. 17 true scary stories to read in bed tonight, and another set of stories after that, and I'll save that title for a minute. This one is called The Death Premonition. My grandmother swore by the story until her dying day. It was during the war in London, and my dad was a baby. She was bombed out of her house and was staying with a friend. The friend had set her up in a room on the top floor. She was taking my dad upstairs to bed when a figure materialized on the stairs, telling her not to sleep in that room tonight. She went back down the stairs and told her friend that she and my dad were sleeping in the sitting room that night. Her friend was annoyed but agreed. That night, a bomb exploded near the house and the roof caved in, right on top of my father's cot. He would have been killed. That's a cool story. I don't know if that's scary, but that's really cool. This next one's called Shush. I had awesome parents who let me sleep in the living room on weekend nights when I was very young because my sister was a light sleeper and I could stay up until dawn. But of course I always ended up sleeping on the couch because Nick at night made me tired. Ugh, that's someone's typo. So one night I wake up to the prickly feeling, like an instinct. Just bolted into a sitting position and stared out the front window. We live in rural Georgia, so you can imagine the magnitude of trees. In perfect light cast from the moon, I see a silhouette of someone in this fucking tree. The family dog dashes to the window and is snarling into the glass. Terrified, I run into my parents' room and try to explain to my parents that there's a strange person outside. Dad grabs something defensive and darts outside with the dogs to beat the wax off the hothead. I tremble in Mama's arms until Dad comes home and says he saw no one and to go to bed. I decide to sleep in my regular bedroom. I fill in my sister as to what had happened. Dad is making regular rounds in the house with a cup of coffee. We're all still and I finally think I can sleep. Nope. I notice the man outside my window. From what I can see in the moonlight, he gives me a shh signal and runs away. Just turns around to run straight line away. I swear I couldn't stop crying for what felt like hours. Oh, what fucking creepy people out there in the world. God damn. Here, welcome to my channel. If you have an ounce of faith in humanity, let me destroy that for you. Welcome to my channel. Or just go outside anywhere. That'll do it too. Oh, goodness. What do alarms have to do with any of these stories? Question mark. I don't know what you're talking about, Element. Someone broke in the last time you were on. Oh, yeah, Zena. Yikes. Oh. Okay. See ya, Alicia. Hey. Thanks for coming. This one's called Handprints. Let's see if we've heard this one or not. When I was a child, I lived in an old Victorian house. I would always hear laughing while I was trying to sleep. I was an only child with a single mother. And when I was around 5 or 6, I would wake up hearing laughter in the hallway in the middle of the night. After mentioning this to my mother, she swore it was probably just the TV being left on late. One night, I awoke to hearing laughter in my room. I went to sit up, but felt like there was someone holding my shoulders down. Invisible hands gripping onto my shoulders while I heard laughing. I screamed my little heart out. My mother ran into my room, flicking on the bedside lamp and convincing me it was just a dream until I said, "But my shoulders hurt." She lifted up my shirt and saw there were 2 adult-sized handprints on my shoulders. I honestly thought I had imagined it, and that it had never happened. Well, the other day I mentioned it in passing to my mother. She went blanket white and said, "I don't want to remember that." Whoa. Yikes. Scratching. This one's called Scratching. About 2 years ago, I was driving home from a family reunion pretty late at night, and the drive was about 2 hours. I didn't stay the night because I had to be back for work the following day. Most of the drive was on roads dense with bushes and trees on either side. The real creepy ones you see a lot in movies. I'd been driving for about 45 minutes. I was starting to get really tired. And you know, sometimes you suddenly just become so tired out of nowhere. That's what happened to me. I knew I wasn't going to last, but I didn't come across any place that I could park and safely sleep. After it became clear to me that I wasn't going to find a place to pull over and my tiredness wasn't going to go away, I did something very questionable. I pulled over to the side of the road onto the grass behind some bushes to try and hide my car from anybody else who was going to come past. The roads weren't empty. I came across another car every few minutes or so. So I made a mental note of the time. It was 11:22, and then fell asleep. Sometime later, I was awoken by a scratching sound. I looked at the clock. 11:50. The sound stopped after a few moments, and because I was so extremely tired, I didn't bother looking around and simply went back to sleep. I was later awoken by the same sound. It was now 12:40. This time it really freaked me out because the sound didn't stop. The thought ran across my mind that it was just an animal inspecting the car. But why would it return almost an hour after it had left the previous time? I looked in my rearview mirror and just managed to catch a glimpse of something running away into the forest. I thought it was the damn hook killer, like the one that scratched the couple's car and then slaughtered the guy when he went out to investigate. Fuck that, I thought to myself. So I got the hell out of there. There was a bend no more than 100 yards up in the road, and as I came around it, there was a fucking car parked off to the side of the road with the driver's side door opened. I slowed down just to look to see if anyone was in there. There wasn't. Then I looked in my rearview mirror. I didn't see anything, and all of a sudden this guy comes sprinting around the corner, starts screaming stuff at me like, hey you, get the fuck out of your car, now! I noped the fuck out of there, and the page went up too far. And I never saw the guy again. Awesome. I mean, I don't know if that's scary. It's definitely strange. Definitely not, I don't know. I think the next set of stories are going to be terrifying. Stories. I shouldn't make any sense at that point. I lost hope in humanity a long time ago, Phantom Zone says. Yeah, Element, we won't pay attention. That we know that the titles of these stories suck. Oh, mine has a light scoop on it. Husband and grandson were on a 3-day. Okay. My kind of girl, I have a lot of Sigsar. Oh, you guys are talking about guns. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let's see. The rest of these set of stories might suck, and then the next ones will be awesome. These are the warm-up stories, Element. Let's just look at it that way. These are the warm-up stories before we get to the really good ones. Someone's in your apartment. So I was sleeping in the middle of a dream. A character in my dream who was doing something turned her head, looked at me very seriously, and said, "There's someone in your apartment. Wake up." I nearly had a goddamn heart attack, and my apartment was empty. That one's kind of funny. Like, you think it's going to be this cool protective premonition, and it's your own head fucking with you. Awesome. This one's titled The Phone Call. Okay, so this happened to me last summer when I was back at my parents' house during the holidays. 3 a.m. I'm in my room on my computer when I got a call from my sister. Now, that was already a little bit weird since my sister's room is just down the hallway from mine, and she could have just came into my room. I went to pick up and the call ended as soon as I reached the phone. I figured that she wanted to speak with me, so I got up and went to her room. And as soon as I reached her door, she started screaming that someone was in the room with her. So I busted in, and of course, nobody was there. After she stopped crying, she told me that she woke up and saw a dark shadow just centimeters from her face, and that's when she screamed. I told her that she called me, and she told me that her phone wasn't in her room, and that she was sleeping. Sure enough, her phone was actually downstairs in her purse. The weird part is that I have the log of her call on my phone, but she doesn't. Never managed to explain that one. Okay, I've definitely heard that story before. And I'll look and see. The Element will have commented. Hey, Immunity Zero has a channel. Make sure you check him out. He's a pretty good reader too. We don't need no stinking badges. We don't need no warm-up stories. We're all seasoned. Well, people know that usually I look for stories and some of them are stinkers and some of them are winners. I either find completely lame stories or stories that most people won't read because they're just too awful. And I mean, they're too gory. I go from one extreme to another, and it's not even on purpose. It's just what I gravitate toward. All right, Lady Gothic, thanks for listening to me at work. You're on with Duchess Dark. In my, ideal world, I'm a late night DJ, radio DJ. My husband's in the living room yawning really, really loud. I don't know gun lingo. I know how to shoot. I just don't know gun lingo. I'm ignorant. I'm gun ignorant. Anyway, this one's called Always Bring Someone When Looking at a Room for Rent. I'm sure we've all heard this. Back in my younger days when I was still living with roommates, I had what turned out to be the most obvious of dangerous encounters. I was looking to move and I was about to leave to see a place in the perfect location, good price, two seemingly professional male roomies. Okay, two guys. Too good to be true. At the last minute, my boyfriend suggests he go along because the place is nearby and they'll have to meet him at some point anyway. We get there and I introduce myself, and the one roommate seems a little taken aback at the fact that I had someone with me. I suppose it could be seen as unusual to bring your boyfriend, but I figured, oh well, the damage is already done. And if they don't allow me to be their roommate simply because he's with me, I can't do anything about that now. Let's just see the place. The apartment is enormous. We're both impressed until we turn the corner of the living room and then we see it. A 2-camera setup with a light pointed at the couch. There's a guy sitting on the couch that is introduced as the other roommate. He jumps off the couch and gives my boyfriend the same weird look. I now realize the look they were giving was disappointment. God, oh my God. I shoot my boyfriend with a very quick look of understanding, but we silently decide to continue with the tour so as to not escalate the situation. Oh my God. I casually joke that it's nice they have a camera so I can video myself for my auditions. They both laugh much too hard and say, yes, that's what we were doing. He brings us over to my room, and it's literally a broom closet. You wouldn't even be able to fit a single-sized bed in there. It is now patently obvious that there was never a room for rent in the first place. I take this opportunity to get out of there by saying, oh, that's too bad. I have a queen bed. It won't fit. Thanks for your time. We get out to the street, walk around the corner without saying a word, and when we finally look at each other, it's in stunned silence. He just hugged me really tight, and then we went for a walk in the park. Like, you were almost a star of a movie that you didn't even know that you didn't want to be in. Oh my God. Oh my God. Did you ever listen to Passion Phones in the 90s? Those late at night commercials they used to have on Phantom for those call me, those ones. Is that what you're gonna say I sound like? Oh my gosh. my God. Immunity. All right, let's see. I think there's only a couple stories left in this set of stories, and we're going to go to the next one. Oh, no, that was the last one for that one. That's all right. We're going to go to the next set of stories is titled 27 Doctors and Nurses Share the Goriest and Most Disturbing Things They've Seen While on the Job. This should be good. Dun, 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 dun. See, now this is where I wish I were a little more talented setting up the live stream. Then I could have like that heartbeat going in the background. So it's like, or I can just tap the microphone. If someone's got earbuds in that. Oh no. The first one's about a baby. I'm gonna skip that one. Yeah. I can't always avoid it, but if I can avoid it when it involves little kids, I'm not gonna put it in there. I don't want to hear that. Aaron Summers. I think I gotta Google Aaron Summers. What? Are you talking about the mom from Silver Spoons? What? Silver spoons together. Aaron Summers. She's the woman who brings down other women. I don't know. Who is that? Immunity. High five. I'm just enjoying the nonsense. This. Plum, 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 plum. All right. This, we're starting out on number 2, so it's going to be 26 stories because the first one was obviously one that had a baby involved, so I don't want to read that. Okay. This one's titled Wiping Down. I used to be a nurse's aide. I once had to put a very obese woman on the bedpan. She was only in her mid-40s. And then I left. Oh, there's my kitty. Well, one of my cats. She put her call light on, and when I answered, she said she was all done. I turned her on her side to remove the bedpan, only to see that it was empty. My first thought was that she had been mistaken about having pooped, but then I looked and realized that her ass cheeks were so massive that her entire dump couldn't make it the length of her cheeks, and it gotten wedged in between them, and I had to dig the entire load out of her as by hand. And it was only 2 months into the job, and it gave me some serious second thoughts. Oh my God. Now I feel like apologizing to everyone for having read this. What? Yeah, I'm waiting for the commentary because there's obviously a delay and you guys have not heard the story yet. Oh no. Well, I guess we went from not scary to absolutely disgusting. Nice. Yeah. Thought this was going to be scary. I guess it's going to be gory. Does poop count as gore? I don't know. Gross. That's gross. God. Welcome to your midnight snack. If anyone wants to go get some peanut butter or some chocolate right now. Now that story's out of the way. So if I could go back in time and insert that for people that haven't been on the live chat and be like, warning, stop eating food right now. This next one is titled Cleaning Up the House. Oh, let's see here. I moved the page up too far. A somewhat mentally deranged person that they had somehow deemed fit for society had to be vacated out of a house that was going to be demolished. And it was my job and others on my team to move out what could be saved. Let's see here. We ended up essentially just taking him with us as nothing could be saved. He had mostly just furniture which reeked with the most pungent odors that you cannot imagine. Here are some highlights. Important note, I have an iron nose and stomach, and I don't really puke unless I'm very sick. Oh God, this is going to be gross. Highlights. 2 of my coworkers immediately puked upon entering the house, and they were unable to enter without puking even after that. Me and my boss had to check out the place ourselves. Second highlight. There was utterly junk all over the house. Very hard to move around in it. Mostly newspapers. Which leads me to my next point. This guy had shit and pissed on the floor and covered it with newspapers. Oh my God. Next highlight. The reason why he did this was because his toilet had entirely clogged up, and the high doorstep to the bathroom meant there were about 2 to 3 inches of water, piss, diarrhea, and poop. And when I initially opened the door to the bathroom, I had to go outside and get air immediately. I ended up gagging and nearly puking from the concentrated fumes, and my boss puked just from walking by the door after I had opened it. Oh my God. This is definitely not the turn I thought this was going to take. After evacuating him to his new place, we immediately washed the entire company car, big Toyota Hi-Ace, because the whole car smelled like Satan's asshole, especially the place he had been sitting. 3 weeks after the incident, after having washed the vehicle 3 times, we could still smell the godforsaken aroma of fetic calamity. We ended up calling in a professional cleaning crew to fix it, as the stench permeated everything. Wow. These should just be titled Wow. Just wow. Just wow. Don't eat that fudgy brownie too quick. Welcome to the disgusting show. Oh. This one's titled Death in a Cheap Hotel. Awesome. Autopsy Tech Death Investigator. Oh boy. This is going to be rough. Pun totally intended. A morbidly obese man had died in a cheap motel room with the heat cranked up and wasn't found for several days. By the time we got him to the morgue, he was horribly bloated from decomposition, gas, and was purple and green all over. There was lots of skin slip. Our forensic pathologist went to make the initial Y incision, and the force of the escaping gas blew gore all over us and the ceiling while making a sound like a wet balloon with the air being punched out. Oh my God. We all paused for a moment as the worst stank I have ever smelled enveloped the room like something that had crawled out of Satan's anus. Then we burst out laughing because that was all we could do. It didn't help that he was leaking liquefied fat all over the floor, which is very slippery. And my boots have never been the same. Why wouldn't you throw your boots away? Why would you keep those boots? Raise your hand if you would keep those boots. I want to see who. It'd be so great if someone was to hear this while having breakfast, lunch, or dinner tomorrow. I'm going to get so many comments. This is so gross. He was purple and green. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm sorry. I thought these were going to be scary and they're gross. Well, if anyone doesn't have kids and you want to know what it's like to be a mother, welcome to motherhood. Oh my God, you're right. The movie Seven. Oh yeah. Yeah. The gluttony one. Mm-hmm. You're right. Ugh. Ugh. Do you guys want me to find different stories? Because I can. I can totally. I'm glad I didn't make this for a video, though. I would have been like, well, I can't use this. Oh, my God. I'd be scared to burn the boots. It seems like they'd burst and, like, it just explode. And then that smell would probably be all over wherever you just burn them into the air. Just, ew. My God. Need more water. Oh, my goodness. Gross. All right. Let's see what this one says. Holding a manual C-spine. Okay. Mm-mm. In my EMT class, an instructor was telling me about one of her calls to a freeway accident. There were 2 cars involved, and one of them had an elderly couple in it. Oh, no. Since she was so small, my instructor is often assigned the job of crawling through the windows of the car to stabilize patients while the crew works on prying the doors open. She crawled into the back seat of the elderly couple's car and held manual C-spine for the woman, holding someone's head in place to prevent an injury by twisting the spinal cord. And as she held the head, it came off in her hands. The woman had been decapitated by the accident. She had to take a couple of weeks off after that and talk to a therapist to help cope. And I can't imagine what it must have been like to go through something like that. Oh my God. And I might have to skip the next one because the title is a gynecological issue, and I'm not even sure I can read it. if I use a code word for something. I'm trying to think if I can read this. I don't. Cooter. We'll use a sandwich wrap. Code word is sandwich wrap. Southern lips. Oh my God. And my husband is joining me in the bedroom with helpful commentary. Do you want to read this one?
Nope. I'm not a strong reader.
I'm not that strong a reader. I'm going to venture into the story, and if it gets gross, I'm just going to end it. So a few years back... Huh? What did you say?
I'll say the bad word.
The bad word?
If there's any bad words, if you want to say it.
A few years back when I was a medical student. Why don't we just point at it when it's the bad word and you can be like, Southern lips. You could say it off. So a few years back when I was a medical student, I was doing my primary care rotation and when I see a morbidly obese lady for a gynecological issue. She said she was having a lot of itching and soreness in her
Southern lips.
Even as I set up for a pelvic exam, I could already tell it wasn't going to be good. I could smell a foul odor already and haven't even looked yet. I was gloving up when I got so nauseated and I was about to get sick, so I excused myself, lied to my attending that I had a problem taking a look in her because she was obese and didn't have much experience with such a challenge, and the truth was I just couldn't stay in the room because it smelled like rotting
boner container.
Oh my God. A few minutes later, my attending calls for me to show me what he found. I thought for sure it would be a fetus. What? But I was wrong. I go in with my mask, and there my attending dangles this cylindrical object covered with bloody debris, which was a tampon. She apparently had difficulty removing it a week ago. My attending kept saying, "It stinks like a mag." The embarrassed patient was crying, and I felt bad, but I had to step out of the room because I was starting to regurgitate my saliva and was about to puke. And to this day, I cannot forget that smell. It took a few weeks before I was able to go. No, I can't say that. I can't say that.
Go down on my girlfriend again.
Oh my God.
Munch
Oh.
and crunch.
Oh my God. I think it was a deciding factor as far as not going into an OBGYN. I don't want to encounter that smell of a rotting
Hot dog holster.
again. Oh my God. Oh my God. How many people left the channel because of that story?
You're welcome.
Oh my God. Southern Lips is my new puke band, punk band.
Sweet, can I join?
Oh my God. How many people are going to unsubscribe after they hear that story? I won't be able to leave this read up on the channel.
I'm starting a new one called Vagina Facts if you want to join
Oh
that.
my God. YouTube will take it down the first hour it's up. Oh my God.
Vagina Facts.
Vagina. Cooters. Southern Lips. Oh my God. Immunity. Oh my God.
Sweet home Vagitana.
Vagitana. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is what story was that? This is supposed to be 27. That was only number 6. I don't know. How much worse can these be? This one's called bacterial meningitis. I don't think this is going to be nearly as funny or disgusting, so all right. This one might be sad. So ERRN here. So emergency room registered nurse. This so far is the only death I've experienced from work that I've lost a significant amount of sleep over. I can't get over the last story that we read and pretend like it didn't just happen. What'd you call it? A hot dog holder?
Hot dog holster. A wiener bagel?
Where did you get that from?
This comes to me.
Like, oh, Jesus.
Should be in advertising.
Switching careers to marketing. Then we discussed about how I wanted to see a realistic tampon commercial where like everyone's going down the slide like, wee, I live my life the way I want to. Yay, I pretend like I'm not bleeding. Only this one cuts to a girl standing in a pool. And all of a sudden she looks around and everyone's like looking at her in horror and running away. And then she's in an empty pool by herself, but there's clouds of blood surrounding her. And then they play the Jaws theme. And then the catchphrase below it just says, "Don't let this happen to you." Tampax. The last story definitely happened and it's burned into my mind. Oh my God. I think I can smell that last story. Oh. Oh. Nope, because I can't imagine it. You know how there's scratch and sniff stickers? I'm thankful right now that they're not scratch and sniff stories. Oh, can you imagine that? That's probably the technology of the future when you go to a website. When you submit your story, you can submit a smell with it. People can really get the whole experience from what you're talking about. Ugh, God. Ugh. So if the stream suddenly gets cut, we're going to know why. Story number 6 is why. Oh, God. All right. Shake it off. I'm going to try and read the next one, but it's really hard to just act like that last story didn't happen. It was both entertaining and disgusting, and that's what I'm always looking for. Scratches Sniff Stories brought to you by Duchess and Tampax. I was going to have sushi tomorrow, but after this, no, thank you. Well, especially if they have a number 6 on the menu. I don't care what it is on a menu for I don't even know if I'll remember. We don't eat, no pun intended, but we don't eat out that often. Like, we like, not to be snobby, but I think the food that we make at home is better. Kind of getting experienced cooking here, but ugh. I should tweet at Tampax.
Tampax, when you have those special times like story number 6.
Tampax. Number 6 is why. Ew. I can't even. No.
You can't have 6 with Tampax.
Oh, God. Stop. Please stop. Listen, I've never had sushi, and at this point, I'm never going to have sushi. Oh, God. No eating out food convention. All right. Number 7. Bacterial meningitis. It's a serious topic. I feel like nothing that we approach at this point is going to seem serious. And then people are going to stumble onto, bacterial meningitis isn't funny. Well, go back and listen to number 6 again. And then try listening to this with a straight face. ERRN here. This so far is the only death I've experienced from work that I've lost a significant amount of sleep over. 24-year-old male walks in. Again, walks into the ER with complaints of flu-like symptoms for the past 3 days. He had decided to come in that day because he started to develop a rash throughout his body that he was unfamiliar with. Sadly, this rash was actually the result of a failed battle with bacterial meningitis, causing him to bleed internally and externally. By the time we got him back into the ER, he started crying blood, and the terror in his eyes was palpable. He went downhill fast. His lucidity diminished with his blood pressure, and the last thing he said before succumbing to the pulseless V-tach was something about his mother that we couldn't understand. You could see his consciousness fade from his eyes as we started compressions. The cold lasted close to an hour. At first, we could still keep his oxygen levels up with his mechanical ventilation, defibrillation, and drugs. But blood was filling his airways faster than it could be suctioned out. He was bleeding too fast for any medication or fluids to keep his blood pressure up. He died, soaked in blood and nearly unrecognizable due to his now almost uniformly purple skin and swollen face. We later found out that he was studying neurobiology, had a devoted girlfriend that was for all intents and purposes a fiancé, a large family, many friends. He was an athlete who lived healthy. He had beautiful curly hair. This made the death tragic in a way that you just don't experience when an 80-year-old dies. That seems cruel. It made the unanswered pleas to God for help that had been sent echoing around the room by his family all the more bitter. I helped drag and push him into a body bag. Oh my God. Well, if that one made you sad, this next one's about poop, so that should make you... What? Yay. Yay. My husband said yay, poop. I'll just include this stream with timestamps and see if they want to sponsor your channel. Oh my god. So the last one was sad. Maybe it'll alternate. Poop, sad, poop, sad. Okay. This one is titled, He Hadn't Had a Bowel Movement in a Month. So that should give you a little preview of what's going to happen here. My dad has been a nurse for nearly 20 years. He has moved around from working on the ER to radiology and now the ICU. He is one of the most well-respected nurses in the hospital. I would know because I worked at the same place as a phlebotomist. Anyway, our hospital is a bariatric center of excellence, so you know what that entails. Some pretty big patients. So one day, I go up onto the 4th floor in the neuro unit to get a unit to get a blood draw, and as soon as I step off of the elevator, I smell it. Really foul, rotten egg smelling poop. I didn't think much of it as the hospital is older and poorly ventilated. But when I get home, I asked my dad about it since the ICU was on the same floor. He says that a guy who was around 550 pounds in the unit was having some abdominal pain. Turns out he hadn't had a bowel movement in almost a month. Before he was transferred to our ICU unit, other clinics had tried giving him a few enemas to no avail. So my dad is saying that he's putting in one of those balloons into the guy's anus so he can catch a bag like a catheter. Turns around to check a monitor, and he hears this dripping noise behind him. Turns back around, and there is a river of shit falling from the bed. The entire floor is covered in a month's worth of shit dripping, splashing all over everything, including my father. He and all the nurses roll up their scrubs like they're going clamming, and after an hour or so, get this guy cleaned up. Housekeeping stopped by and just left a cart for them and said, nope. I guess right after they finished cleaning it up, it happened again. I don't even want to imagine the smell in that room if it was enough to stink up the whole 4th floor. I can't describe the amount of respect I have for nurses. Oh my God. P. People order our patties. I can't even imagine turning around and seeing that. I'm trying to picture that scene in my mind, and I can't even wrap my brain around it. An entire bed soaked in poop? How does someone go that long? Like, I think after a week I'd be like, no, get it out now. A month? No way. I would starve myself. I wouldn't even eat anything else if I couldn't poop after a week. Probably after a couple of days, I'd be like, I can't eat anything. I haven't pooped. Wouldn't your insides just like explode or implode or I don't know. Oh, God. That's how you get an obstruction. That order our patties really got me. Why does that remind me of SpongeBob? Is that from SpongeBob? My God. Oh. This one is called a cyst the size of a jawbreaker. The very last patient I saw in my internship came in with a cyst. Oh, God. A cyst in her pubic area. Oh, God. Turned to husband to see if he had any commentary. He didn't say anything. I think to myself, okay, I've seen plenty of these. No big deal. I walk in to find a cyst the size of a jawbreaker. It was purple and practically had a face We had to lance it, so we needed to give a local anesthetic. When the syringe touched the cyst, the entire thing blew open with pus. Oh, the smell in the room was terrible. This should be just called 27 Smelly Stories. It sounded like basketball shoes on a freshly waxed floor. The core of the cyst was about the size of a dime. Love this kind of stuff, and considering going into dermatology. That is not what I thought that last line was going to say. The next one is shockingly titled Complaint of a Foul Odor. Anyone that's just tuning in is probably tuning right back out because everything is so disgusting. Oh my God. Which story is worse, this poop story or number 6? Immunity. Yes. It is the Krusty Krab training video. Oh my God. For the love of smell. Complaint of a foul odor. It should just be 27 smelly stories, apparently. Good Lord. Well, except for the lady whose head was off and the meningitis one was sad. All right. First, a super obese, that's an actual medical term, woman comes to clinic complaining of a foul odor that she's noticed. Great. And yeah, me and the attending noticed it too. A smell somewhere between rancid milk mixed with rotting fish and a disemboweled skunk swimming in garbage. That was creative. We do the usual workup, take a good history, do a thorough physical as best we can, given she is enormous and has folds of skin draped all over her, including rectal genital exam, just in case there was something funky going on down there, growth, and run some simple labs. Me and the attending are discussing how we have no clue what is going on. The nurse comes out holding a green, soggy mush in her gloved hand and waves it in front of our faces. I nearly puked right there. Turns out the woman was using pieces of bread to soak up her sweat by putting them in between her fat folds, and apparently she forgot about one of the pieces of bread, which stayed there to marinate in her juices for weeks, as estimated by the patient. I was sent in to see if there are any more hidden pieces. Luckily there weren't, but having to lift up and search every fat fold was embarrassing for her and disgusting for me. Oh my God. 27 smelly stories brought to you by these horribly tasting jelly beans. Tonight's video is sponsored by Tampax. Don't smell like that other person. Oh my God. Why?
Don't put Wonder Bread in your folds.
Who puts... Has anyone ever thought, I'm sweaty today, I need to go get a piece of bread? Like, that's never crossed my mind. Like, usually it's like paper towel, maybe a washcloth, wipe it down. Never, ever, ever have I thought, I need to go get some bread. And then also forgot about the bread. Like, it is one thing to wipe up sweat with bread, but then to forget about the bread? Tampax and Jelly Belly would like to thank you for your continued support. By the way, Jelly Belly has 7 new flavors.
No way I'd use bread. At yeast, I would get a towel.
At yeast, he'd get a towel. Bum. Shh. Wow. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Someone please explain that to me if you're just joining us, why you would use bread to wipe up your sweat.
Unless it's hillbilly bread, then it's okay.
Oh, God. You know, I look gore, slasher, cut 'em up, murder, disembowel, torture stories, but this stuff has taken it too far by being gross. What I mean is, mic drop. What did you say?
I said it's okay if it's hillbilly bread.
Why?
Just because it's hillbilly bread. Wipe your sweat.
That's just butter. I'm sweating butter. Now, if you sweat butter, that's better, baby. It's a pal panther. All right.
Butter used hillbilly bread.
God. This next one is titled Domestic Bliss and M80s. So it's not gross. We'll see. A guy was drunk fighting with his girlfriend and decides to light up some M80s and throw them at her. Well, he waits too long after lighting one and ends up blowing off his hand. He's brought to the ED, completely drunk and having lost a lot of blood. We stabilize him, take him to the OR. While the hand surgeons are cleaning off his stump of a hand, me and the surgery resident are fixing all of his chest wounds. One of the hand surgeons says, "Wow, this is a mess. Did anyone at the scene find his thumb?" No one knows. We continue examining, cleaning, and suturing his wound, and lo and behold, buried in a deep wound in his upper abdomen is 2/3 of his thumb. If he hadn't been so fat, his thumb would have likely entered his peritoneum. Ugh. That's just weird. What other garbage juice stories do you have for us tonight? Garbage juice stories. Mayonnaise. Jenny. What is that pronunciation of mayonnaise from? Mayonnaise. Anyone recognize it? Why is this computer is not charging at all? Oh, there we go. Oh, the live stream was almost over because I almost didn't realize that my phone or my computer wasn't charging this entire time. Mayonnaise. What other garbage juice stories do you have for us tonight? You know,
Miracle Whip.
I enjoy the tang of zip, a Miracle Whip. I still don't sound like Stanley. I enjoy the tang of zip, a Miracle Whip.
But pretzel day. I love pretzel day.
I love pretzel day. I get up too early to come to a job that I don't like. Pay for a school that's too expensive for my kids. But pretzel day, I like pretzel day. I don't think that's the whole thing, but an officer and a gentleman. The drill sergeant says it that way. Mayonnaise. Oh yeah, Mayo. Holy crap, you're right. I love that movie. I forgot about it. All right, let's see. I'll just skip the garbage juice stories from now on. Is that cool? You guys want me to? Because this next one's called Cooked Flesh and Mechanical Grease. I can move on. Do we want to hear this one? It's only like 5 sentences long. Miracle Whip should be your husband's rapper stage name. Yo, 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 welcome to the stage. Miracle Whip. What, what?
Oh, yeah, this is M Whip coming to you live, yo.
Oh, my God. Ronnie, your computer was dying. Maybe that was Destiny's way of saying you shouldn't be reading these disgusting stories about bodily fluids.
Miracle Whip's gonna tear up the flow.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, well, I can't start a whole set of new stories now, so we either
I'll
power
leave.
through it.
I'll go to sleep.
We're in bed already. I'm just gonna skip. I'm gonna skip cooked flesh and mechanical grease and let you guys decipher what that would have said because it's 5 sentences long.
Burt Reynolds.
What?
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
I saw a rental place where you could rent tools. It was called Burt's Rentals. Pretty clever, huh?
You just said that right now?
No, it's actually a place I saw that rents tools and stuff.
What made you think of that right now?
Somebody coming to Burt Reynolds.
Oh, really?
Starring Burt Reynolds.
I missed it. Cooked flesh and mechanical grease starring Burt Reynolds.
Stroker.
And then my husband said he just saw, what did you see, a tool rental place that said what?
It's called Burt's Rentals.
Burt's Rentals. So that's going to stick out. But do many people, like, younger people know who Burt Reynolds is?
No.
Do you think?
No.
I mean, people that are probably have the capacity to rent tools know who it is, but younger people than that don't.
If you've seen Stroker Ace, you know who Burt Reynolds is.
What's this one say?
Stroker.
A lesson on withdrawing care. I want to tell this story because I feel there's very limited knowledge about when it is appropriate to withdraw care on your family. So I'm not sure what this means, so let's read on. If any of you take anything away from this, please write a living will and talk to your loved ones about your wishes. Okay, you know what? This one looks sad. I'm skipping it. We've had too many traumatic stories tonight. So we are skipping it. Upsetting to hear. Skipping it. Stubborn priapism.
Not gonna say it.
Shut
Hemorrhoids and firearms, yes.
up. Are you serious? Okay. We're gonna
Bumps
skip.
and bullets.
We're gonna skip 16. Go to 17. It's titled Hemorrhoids and Firearms. I can't even say it. Thank God it's a short story. And I mean five sentences short. You might as well keep going with the stories, even though Ronnie's really upset with me for reading them. Oh my God. Smoking the Bandit. Look it up. Kindergarten Cop? Who said Kindergarten Cop?
That just sounded like Burt Reynolds' laugh.
He's a stroker, all right. Oh my God. Oh no, priapism equals an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. I might have to go back to that one just to see what it entails. I'm going to speed read it and see if it's gross or not. Oh my God. Okay, I'm reading it. I'm sorry, you guys are going to be stubborn priapism. One of the most horrifying things I've ever seen in the hospital was a guy who OD'd on one of his prescription medications. One of the side effects was priapism, erection lasting longer than 4 hours. Once the doctors got his cardiac and respiratory systems relatively stable, they tried to get rid of this poor guy's erection, which was starting to turn purple and black and blue. And after several non-invasive methods, they did what they had to do. They had to inject drugs directly into the head of his, not once, not twice, not 3 or 4 times, 19 times. 19 injections right into the head of
Purple-headed yogurt slinger.
It was still swollen, bruised, and red 2 weeks later. Holy crap. Why would someone OD on that? Would they were just too impatient to wait for it to work?
Hard life.
Oh my God. 3 times a lady. No, I'm not upset. I like horror stories, not throw up in my mouth stories.
Every time.
Oh my God.
Talking about penises.
19 times what? Element, I don't want to re-say it. It's too awful. And also hilarious. My husband said he must have had a hard life. Oh my God.
He must have wanted to stretch life out, though, because he went to the ER.
That was a stretch.
Yeah. It was a long shot.
It was a long shot. Because they wanted to have fun all night. Yeah, well, you take another one later, don't you? I mean, I'm not very familiar with it, but I'm pretty sure Purple-Headed Yogurt Slinger is Bert's autobiographical book that was never written.
I thought his book was called Mustache Rides.
Ew. I think his mustache is fake like his hair was. It's probably all glued on, and then when, like, he was at home, he just peeled it off like that horrible Jason Momoa commercial.
Burt Reynolds' porn name was Captain Chaos.
Captain Chaos?
You never seen Cannonball Run?
I have, but what's Captain Chaos?
That was his sidekick's alter ego.
Mustachio flavor. Mustachio flavor. Oh my God. Flavor number 6. And we made full circle there. We went full circle around there. Like how I brought it back. There's some things that they just should never make a scent or flavor of. There should be revenge air fresheners that smell like horrible things that you can just like throw in someone's car that you hate, and then they can never figure out why it smells bad. Oh my God, I can imagine him walking to the hospital
Like cherry butthole.
with that problem saying, "Can someone please help me with this?" Fishy. Immunity. Cherry butthole. Oh. What was that site the kids found? RateMyPoop.com. It's, at least 25 minutes of nonstop entertainment. This next one is titled Hemorrhoids and Firearms. Guy was scratching his hemorrhoids with a 50mm bullet and it got stuck up there. Since it was a live round, the bomb squad was called and held their blast shields or whatever around the patient's butt as it was removed. This is a 2-in-1. And the next part is the couple wanted to make perfect custom
Fake wiener.
for guys' butt, so they put a condom in and filled it with cement. Condom breaks, and almost a foot of his intestines had to be removed. Oh, that wasn't funny. That was horrible. What? Okay, this one's not funny, so I'm skipping it. And it's long.
That's what she said. Or didn't say.
That's what she didn't say. Revenge smell air fresheners by Duchess Dark, patent pending. Well, that one that Avery got you was poop, but it doesn't smell like poop, does it?
It smells like polo.
Oh, nice. Hemorrhoids and firearms is how the South actually lost the war. Oh my God.
Sweet home hemorrhoid. I'm scratching you with a 50mm.
Who would scratch your butthole with a bullet? Like,
Oh, why not just put on a rubber glove and use your finger?
why do all of these sound like really great book titles that I would totally buy but never read? Scratch your butthole with a bullet. What's that smell? What's another ones we had? Hemorrhoids and firearms. That's hilarious. That sounds like the next Steve Martin stand up. He's teaching stuff now, isn't he? All right, let's see what's left here. What do we got left in this skeleton of a live read? Hobo in a wheelchair.
Back up there.
I can't even breathe now. Has anybody seen, what was that from, the video? All you hear is, back up Terry, and it's this guy and his friend's in a wheelchair, but the guy that's not in the wheelchair lit a bunch of fireworks. The guy's just there, and his friend's like, back up Terry, back up. The fireworks are going off all over the place. You know, there's something very weird and wrong with all of us that we keep enjoying listening to horror and sick stories like this. I am a fan of the dark comedy and anything that's disgusting and embarrassing. Definitely. Raise your hand if you want to hear a really disgusting joke, because I'm definitely sure that this live read's going to get demonetized. I'll just take the monetization off of it. I've seen that video. Back up, Terry. Now all I have to do is hear my husband say that, and I just start laughing hysterically because I can see it in my head. Like, who does that to their friend? Let me set these fireworks right below you. Dark comedy is life. Well, they say that people that enjoy dark comedy are more likely to get dementia, but I think it's the opposite. Uh-oh. Something wrong with the wire in these headphones, I think. All right, let me see. Let me see what we got what we're working with here. We used to have some live streams where I would share the screen when I found something hilarious, but since I still am learning this awesome way of live streaming, and I say that with the deepest sense of sarcasm, I don't know how to share the screen anymore. I don't know how to do that now so that we can be looking at the same image if I find it, so we can all laugh at it together. I don't know how to do that yet. Only need sponsorship from Tampax and you're golden. Yeah. Knife sets. Ginsu knives. Is that a thing? Is that still a thing, Ginsu knives?
I think so.
I feel like everyone should have to see that knife cut through a tin can at least once in their life. You know, people that listen to stuff like this become serial killers, so who's it gonna be? Mike Honcho! Oh my god. Dude Wipes presents Duchess Dark. It isn't your wires, it's Google controlling you. Yeah, probably. Yeah, Mike Concho is my husband. In case anyone's wondering. And if you know where Mike Concho is from, you get extra brownie points. There's no prizes. You're just better at everything. I'm just joking. But, you know. Oh my god. Let me see. Oh no, that one's too awful. The hobo in the wheelchair is too sad. The power of addiction, skipping that. The call light kept going off. Oh no. Oh no. This one might be really disgusting. Let's read it. Sorry. I should really proofread these first. So this one says the call light kept going off. I worked as a nursing assistant at a nursing home when I was 19. I usually work the night shift 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., so the majority of my residents were usually sleeping. One night, the call light to this one room kept going off. I go in there and ask the resident what she needs. She's just up laying in bed and states that she doesn't need anything. I turn off the call light, but a few minutes later it goes on again. Same thing happens. She doesn't need anything. So now a lot of the residents there had dementia and Alzheimer's, so them pushing the button and then forgetting what they needed or wanted, especially at night, wasn't that unusual. Oh God. However, this happened a couple more times. So about the third or fourth time I go in there, I decide to look to see if maybe she's sitting on the call light and that's why it keeps going off. So I follow the cord of the call light from the wall onto the bed, under the sheets, under the resident's leg, and right into her
boner garage.
Not the worst part yet. So I deal with that situation and then have her again the next night. This night I make sure to tie the call light to the bed so she doesn't have as much cord to repeat this same night over again, but enough so she can still use the call light when she needed to. Safety first. Part of my duties was to clean dentures of the residents so that they're ready to go in the morning. So I go to clean her dentures and noticed the only top dentures are in there. Oh, Jesus. Having had this resident multiple times before I knew she had a full set. I start looking around for the bottom dentures. I look in the bathroom, on the nightstand, everywhere. I ask the resident. She has no idea. So I think to myself, no, she can't be. She wouldn't, would she? Sure enough, she had a repeat of the previous night, except this time with her bottom dentures. And every time I saw her smile after that, I couldn't help but cringe. Oh my God. You do realize what I just read, right?
Yep.
That puts a whole new perspective on smiling makes you look more beautiful. Okay, now we're drawing the lines. Where are we skipping stuff? Our mission is to get Tampax or Dude Wipes to sponsor Duchess.
Duchess Dark is brought to you by Noah's Arcade. Party on, Duchess.
Oh my God. A frequent ER visitor who's seen some shit. Okay, so this isn't a doctor or nurse. I'm not in the medical field, but I have a chronic illness that lands me in the ER very frequently. And the hospital I frequent is the most in the middle of Baltimore. I've seen guys walk into the ER with a gunshot wound to the head, complete with brain matter glopped on their shirt, falling out of their new head hole. I've seen a crackhead with a large abdominal knife wound stand up to leave the ER, only to have a large portion of their intestines fall into their abdomen and onto the floor. I've seen a tremendously fat woman with her entire leg rotted so bad that the smell alone was enough to make you vomit, and it stunk my clothes for several bleach washings. I've seen a gang member come in with a flesh wound gunshot, only to have a rival gang member come in and finish him off. All of the horrible nastiness aside, the staff at that ER are totally amazing people who are very kind to me. Many know me by first name. It isn't that pathetic, because I'm there that much. The past few times I've gone in, which frankly hasn't been necessary in a while, they've been really cool and put me in the far back corner away from the crazies, the gangbangers and druggies. It's a rare thing to actually get a peaceful moment in the ER. I have a lot of respect for you guys, and thank you for what you do. Oh, that's nice. And the next one's titled The Love Story of a Woman and Her Couch. And I'm scared to read it. Oh, Jesus. Second place is the first loser. Sick. Ronnie. Sick, but I can't. Tall guy, 32. Hey, man, I want to let you know I ordered a DSLR camera. And it's gonna be here Thursday. I wanted to say it was amazing, but I don't have it here yet, so I can't say that. It's just a flesh wound. It's just a flesh wound. What is that from? There's a movie where they're like bleeding horribly, and they're like, it's just a flesh wound. Or the one where they're fighting, and they're like, they're just talking it out. They're just talking. I don't know if I would say you missed anything, because it's been pretty gross up in here. You've missed a lot of disgustingness. So both raunchy and gory. Well, mostly gross. Not even gory, just gross. Couches have cushions, and cushions are like pillows, and oh God. This next one is titled The Love Story of a Woman and Her Couch. I'm scared to read it that way just because I don't know what is going to come out of this. Honestly, this is the first time where the first set of stories was better than the second set of stories. Oh my God. All right, buckle in, kids. This could be gross or hilarious. We don't know what's going to happen here. My dad's been a volunteer EMT fireman for as long as I can remember, and generally the worst stories I've ever heard come from him. One that comes to mind right now deals with a lady not unlike the ones who have been mentioned in a lot of these other stories. Oh, great. She was highly obese and apparently had gone for a sit-down on her couch. That was a month before the call to head out to her residence was put in. When Pop and the crew arrived, the lady was still on her couch. This woman had not moved from that spot for an entire month. For anything. She was glued to her couch with a mixture of her own bodily fluids. I'm just going to say that, and her own skin. And they had to cut the fabric around her because they were both embedded with each other, and she was angry that they had to cut her couch. There are no words. I'm just going to start apologizing to people for these stories. The next one is literally 2 sentences. It says, number 24, didn't like nursing. I once saw an old woman's foot fall off. I was left holding the leg. The nurse told me, don't puke. I puked on the leg. I didn't like nursing. That's what that one was like. Yeah, I'm thinking that nursing isn't for everyone. But I don't know how many nurses that I know that have actually seen a foot fall off. Oh boy, those were both disgusting. Oh yeah. Yeah, amazing. I vaguely recall the name of that movie, The Holy Grail.
If her foot falls off, do they call a tow truck?
Oh wow. Hey Dubco. No need for a stretcher. Oh. My internet's lagging, so I hear every other 30 seconds. Well, I hope it is your internet and not mine, because honestly, I can't tell. You guys have to tell me. No need for a stretcher. Oh, God. Yeah, tall guy. I feel like apologizing to everyone that's listening. I'm so sorry. It's just a flesh wound.
It's all my fault. Everything's my fault.
Shh. Everyone knows that. Everyone that's married to someone knows that. Answer me a question. How come all of these 6 stories that are really disgusting are with morbidly obese people? I don't know.
Because these stories are fat. P-H-A-T.
Because their stories are fat with P-H-A-T. Wow. You have to, I was saying cool about that. About it being gross. Well, here's a hint. I can't, there is no hint. Number 6. That's the hint of a century. Oh, dear God. I'm never going to get that story out of my head. And also, don't wipe up your own sweat with bread slices.
And they're not fat. They're cheerably chubby.
They're cheerably chubby?
Yeah.
If you have bread hidden in your folds and you forget about the bread, what classification is that?
Stupid.
Stupid.
This has nothing to do with being fat.
Yeah. Your husband is funny, tall guy says.
I know.
Oh,
I don't get
wow.
enough credit for it. Thank you.
Thank you. He said he knows he doesn't get enough credit for it. Thank you. He's also humble. Issue number 6. Do you smell that? It's a kind of smelly smell. It's a kind of smelly smell that smells smelly. Ugh. God. The damage has been done. You guys are never going to listen to me the same again. I don't know if I want to read this one. Several messy casualties. Because at this point, we've wandered into the category of disgusting but hilarious. And I kind of want to keep that streak going. I'd rather, phase into just funny.
Next week, Duchess Dark.
What did you call me? Duchess Dark. Nice. Nice. And this one's called Sweet Urine. An EMTA once told me a story. She was dispatched to the home of a severely obese, disabled man, severely chubby, who hadn't been taking his meds. He was alive, but basically confined to his couch. He also had a condition that made his urine have a high sugar content. He had ants crawling all over him, including his urethra. Oh, I regret reading that one.
The dance.
Oh my God. You're on a roll today.
You know what I feel sorry for? Are these couches? What did they do?
That do you feel
or
sorry
for?
for?
You older people, Davenports.
Couches. Those horrible couches. R.I.P. couches.
They got feelings too.
Do they?
Yeah.
Thank God some couches don't make any. Can you imagine if couches made sound effects when you sat on them? Oh, have you gained weight? You've been sitting here a long time now. That's your 17th snack. Maybe they should make commentary. People like, shut up, couch.
Just spilled sofa pop all over me.
You better wipe that up. You know, that went down in my cracks and everything. They're going to know it. They're going to smell it later.
What's this toenail doing down here?
Pick that up right now. You know you're not supposed to eat in the living room. That would actually be awesome. What's number 6 on McDonald's menu? I don't know, but I'm never eating it again. I dare somebody to look it up. If it's a fish sandwich, I'm going to pee my pants.
It's a McDLT.
It's a McVLT.
VLT.
Oh. Now I'm never going to eat sushi
It's
and
the
bread ever
McVag.
again and forget any chocolate products. It's ruined. Ruined, I say. Sweet urine is possibly worse than priapism. Think about that show, The Big Comfy Couch. I'm sure it's very different now. Oh my God. So I think should be why isn't there furniture that makes commentary? I'm giving you guys $1 million ideas here. They're just raking out. What about your bed? It's like, oh, there you go. You go night-night. Go night-night. I'm going to tell you a story. And then it just starts telling you stories. Or just hugs you. I'm Googling. I'm going to Google what is...
McFatty. That's McChubby, not McFatty.
What? McFatty.
Yeah, it should be McChubby.
What's McFatty, though?
McFatty.
How come I can't see that comment yet? I don't see that comment.
Your computer's being punished for all the bad stories.
Yeah. I want to see McDonald's menu. What is number 6?
McVeg.
Stop! McVeg. Let's see. Look at, there's not going to be numbers on there. I will die.
You deserve a break today.
Combo meals.
You know Barry Manilow wrote that song?
Really?
Yep.
Okay. This says combo meals. It's the artisan grilled chicken sandwich meal is number 6.
It doesn't say number 6.
Yeah, but I know, but that's a combo meals.
I know, but they're not numbered.
I'm just assuming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If anyone's near a McDonald's right now, please go through the drive-thru and tell everyone what number 6 is. I beg of you. Please.
It's the filet of veg.
Filet of veg. Oh my God. Ugh.
McVeg LT.
Sick.
A big veg.
Oh my God. I'm a rad tech in a level 1 trauma center at the burn unit. Nope. I'm not. Nope. I'm not even reading that story because the last sentence is this one. Oh yeah. And I was in the OR and watched the orthopedic surgeon pick up what was left of her leg, shake his head, and cut it off. Yeah, I'm not reading that story. I'm not. That's not even funny. Or scary. It's just sad. And that is not what anyone needs in their life right now. Elon Musk is listening to these ideas. Driving and highly opinionated couches are on the horizon. Well, he better give me a cut of it. I'm coming after him. Hard. That's because of me. Sorry, everyone. What's because of you?
Duchess, seriously, you went beyond my expectations tonight in a weird category with these stories.
You know, in general conversation, I usually take it too far. Like, people usually surprised. I feel like it's a good time to tell that joke.
Like, if I would have came in here, you probably would have hee and moved on to the next one, but I just created a whole new mess for you.
Thanks, honey. Thanks. You just made everything so much better. It's like an early Mother's Day gift. What if everyone at McDonald's named...
everything worse.
What if everything at McDonald's was named after the weird-ass story we are listening to? Ooh. What would you call chicken nuggets? McPhalanges?
McNugs.
It'd be a super long one, like Mick chopped up, reprocessed, and pressed into little tiny pieces of chicken and breaded for your pleasure. McNuggets sounds so much better. It's not chicken. It's not chicken. That's not chicken. You can just tell when some stories. Just stories. What if everything... Oh, no, I understood what you meant. Gotta let that doggy out. She's gonna go potty on the floor. I wonder if anyone's listening to this while they're driving. And it happened to be by McDonald's. Go through the drive-thru. Or if you work for McDonald's and you know what number 6 is, for the love of God, tell us in the comment section if you're listening to this back. Where's Mandy? Mandy Mortem. Now I know you're not listening to me right now because she would tell us what number 6 is. Hemorrhoids and firearms is pie of the month. It starts out with a rich and succulent flavor, and then bam, it hits you with the spices later on. Come on, Titi. Come on. Come on, girl. Come on. There we go. That's a great big furry baby. Oh my god. Hemorrhoids and firearms is pie of the month, and I said it starts out rich and succulent and then it hits you with the spiceless later. Should just message her. Brought to you by Emerald. Bam! Go to the bathroom. I don't know if you guys want me to find something else to read because it's already 12:21 in the morning here. What time is it where you're at? Time for more stories. That's what someone's going to say, I guarantee. Yeah, I went down a little bit to go to those medical stories. I'm going to take those off of there. There's a couple more links to those. I'll review those at another time and see if they're not disgusting. There was prison guard stories too. I bet those were good. Creepy teacher stories. You watched Shawshank Redemption today? It's probably going to be on 15 more times tomorrow on Mother's Day.
That's when my good friend Andy Dufresne listened to story number 6.
Oh my god. Do you guys want more stories? I think it can hang in there for another, I don't know. I wonder if, has anyone ever fallen asleep while doing a live stream? Then you get like 5 hours of them snoring into a microphone.
Do it and I'll take over and you'll completely lose your channel.
I won't lose my channel. I'll probably lose a lot of people's respect. But that's probably long gone anyway. I was going to tell that one joke about that guy that went to the whorehouse, but I don't think it's appropriate.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The one where the guy goes into the whorehouse and he wants a hooker for $20. Or no, he's only got $20 and they bring out like an ugly brunette and then an uglier redhead. He's like, well, don't you have anything better? And then they bring out this beautiful blonde girl. I don't think I should go on because I'm pretty sure people can hear what I'm saying. It's going to get really, really gross. The first concert of Miracle Whip. Better get busy living or get busy dying. My good friend Andy Dufresne. Hi, TT. What you doing? Okay. You guys want more stories? Or are you falling asleep? Are you ready to wrap this up? Or what's going on? First, I'm exiting out the horrible stories we just read. Bad stories. Go away, stories. You're bad. Let me see. Creepy teacher stories. Prom night stories. 10 worst prom stories we've ever heard. Am I scary? Does that mean that they suck? Or does that mean they're just like awful for the person that experienced them? Tornado stories. You guys want to hear about this time that Jesus saved us from the tornado? It's headed straight for Waukita. Looks to hit Waukita head on. Okay, so if anybody's watched the movie Twister, there's a scene after the tornado goes through the movie theater, and my husband thinks it says the line from, as the guy's name, the character's name is Rusty. What do you think he says?
It's headed straight for Waukita.
It's headed straight for Waukita, and I think it says it looks to hit Waukita head on. And I don't know. We got cows. I know. Every time I'm like, I think I want to watch Twister, and I swear to God, when that pops in my head, it's on. Like usually halfway through, and it's starting at the movie, the drive-in scene. It's really strange.
That's always the part that's on.
It's crazy. Yeah, and The Shining is on. That's crazier. But if anybody knows who's Helen Hunt's dad seriously thought he was going to hold the door. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if that would have kept rain out when you go back and look at that scene, I don't think that little door would have kept out any moisture, let alone a vacuum sucking force of nature. But if anybody knows who's right, please let me know. It looks to hit Wakita head on. It's headed straight for Wakita. I bet you Twister's on, right? I bet you Twister is on some channel on cable somewhere right now. I think
what would be weird if you played Twister while watching Twister.
Play Twister while watching Twister.
You know.
Oh my God. I guess he kind of did. What do you mean? He did hold the door. He just held onto the door while he flew around inside of the tornado.
He's like, I'm mad about you, then flew away.
And was never seen again. We can laugh because it wasn't a real person.
I think he landed in Oz or something.
Yeah. Maybe.
He was the Tin Man.
It was a prequel. Like Star Wars, but for tornadoes. Tornado stories. I wonder if they're going to make a sequel to Twister. What would they call it? Earthquake. There's just going to be a series of natural disaster movies. Well, they do have a movie called Volcano. Is there a movie called Tsunami yet?
It'd be called Crocnado.
Crocnado. Is there another Sharknado coming out soon? Is that like the Mandela effect? Yeah. Does anybody know which one it is, though? If you seriously know which, is it looks to hit Wakita head on, or it's headed straight for Wakita? It's one of the two. Play Twister while watching Twister and listening to Twista.
No, Twisted Sister.
Twisted Sister.
We're not going to take it.
We're not going to take it anymore. A prequel to Sharknado. Because they're scientists and they work in a lab. And one experiment got just too carried away. Dun dun dun. Should have a live stream with a bunch of fiction. Actually, I have some fiction saved. Dun dun dun. I have like all these ideas for stories, but maybe we should go to the tornado stories since I'm here. Oh, it didn't go to it. What happened? I don't know. Did everyone fall asleep yet? These are survivor stories of tornadoes. We'll see if it's boring or not. I think everyone fell asleep. Has everyone? I haven't seen Twister in over 20 years. For the win, Twisted Sister. Do the twist. Okay, so do the twist while playing Twister, while watching the movie Twister, and listening to Twisted Sister. That's insane. Or is it? Who wants to hear Twister stories? Dun dun dun. Let's see if they're any good. They're told by survivors, so at least it's not written by survivors. Much harder to read, believe it or not. That one's really, 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 really long. This is Trinity, Harrison Township, Ohio. The day began like any other day. Raindrops ticked along the glass of the apartment living room window on this warm, stormy day. Much of the day was spent playing Call of Duty Advanced Warfare on my father's Xbox 360. 5 p.m. I start hearing about a storm system off to the west. I wrapped up the game for the night when my sister's friend informed us of a tornado warning. Seconds later, sirens sounded. I headed to the bathroom and watched the blood-red cell on radar as lights went out. Cellular reception was lost. My sister told me to move to the hallway with everyone else. The sky was lit with an ominous, furious lightning. I took cover in the hallway as the train sound rumbled outside. The first tornado passed, but now the second one was headed our way. The funnel moved over the apartment complex before moving into the night from our location. Route 48 in Harrison Township toward Old North Dayton. The EF4 took 2 lives, one in Salina and one in Harrison Township. Okay, I really thought that was going to be more gripping than that. I don't know if anybody's been in a tornado, but somebody told me that it's like, the whole house, like the whole place shakes and it sounds like you're like a train. Yeah. Have you seen D. Snyder's Strangeland? Have you? D. Snyder's Strangeland? No, what is that? I'm Googling it. Googling. I think I'm losing my steam. I'm going to credit that to working all day. And then doing this. Like, D. Snyder's... What is it called? Wonderland? Strangeland. Is it a show? Sounds like a show. It's a movie. 1998. I've never heard of this movie. That's really weird. And I see the guy that plays Freddy Krueger is in it. What, did he go into like movie making for a little while? Yeah, it looks like it. Crazy. I don't know. Would anyone live where they are? Why would anyone live where there are tornadoes? There's tornadoes everywhere. I'm confused. You don't have tornadoes where you live, Element?
Some areas have a lot more than others.
Oh yeah, like my aunt all the time in Tennessee.
We haven't had one here in like 6 years.
You better knock on wood. There's no one here, Trixie. All right, I'm losing my steam. No, not in California. You don't have tornadoes in California. That's crazy. But you have earthquakes, though. But we have both here.
Movie stars.
Green Acres is the place for me. I'm living is the life for me. No, that's the wrong one. So I packed up and moved to Beverly. California has Santa Ana winds, so it's a similar in a way. I don't know if Santa Ana winds. Do Santa Ana winds usually pick up houses and relocate them? That's terrifying. Michigan has tornadoes and earthquakes, so that's great. And horrible winters. Why do we live here? We've got it all. All the seasons.
Except for snakes.
All the weather. We've got snakes.
Not deadly ones.
Yeah, they don't live long enough to be deadly. Well, except for the people that keep them in their house and then release them into the wild. Because we have stupid people here that do stupid things. We have sun like 50 days a year. Son of a bitch. We got screwed in the weather department for our state. Screwed, I tell you.
Thanks, Mom and Dad, for having me born in
Thanks a
Michigan.
lot. Like, there's some states, don't you think, that should just be open when it's nice outside, and then the rest of the time no one should live there, like where we live, so that people can have better lives? Sucks. It snowed today. It is May 9th, and it snowed today. Just want to let you all know that. We all died a little inside today when we saw snowflakes falling. Snow. Florida has tornadoes, hurricanes, wildfires, and worst of all, Florida man. I'm starting a new series of, you know what? I don't want to say what the series is, but We're going to be venturing into more of the territories like that because I'm really curious about a lot of those things. Really curious. Doesn't California have a lot of earthquakes? Yeah, I know it. That's what I heard. Like I was watching back Jenna and Julian's, one of their like stream highlights, and during one of their Twitch streams, they were having an earthquake. And it was a 7, I believe, on the Richter scale. It didn't look that bad viewing it, but watching them be concerned was alarming because it's like you could barely tell in the screen. It didn't look like anything was falling off the walls, and it didn't look like the furniture was falling over, so it was kind of hard to tell that it was that scary from the camera's point of view, but them freaking out because it just kept kind of going for a little while there. That was scary. Not a lot of earthquakes, but some can be bad. Most buildings are earthquake proof.
Yeah, out there you have to strap up water heaters and stuff.
Shouldn't everything be that way, though? Just so it's built better?
Well, out in warm area like California, the water heater would be in the garage, where here you can't do that unless it's heated.
Yeah, because if we put our water heaters in the garage, they would explode because it'd get too cold, right?
No, they would just split.
Oh, they'd crack.
Yeah.
Because it gets that cold here. You're due for a big one? Oh my God.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. He said, oh my God.
They had a big one out there, what, like 94? Something like that.
Didn't you guys just have a bad earthquake? Like,
I remember it was like during the World Series.
oh, you mean the kind where like the freeway collapsed on itself? That was like in 94, wasn't it? The really, really bad one. Whoever lives in Element, you live in California. Wasn't that the really bad one a while ago? Ooh, yikes. She fell asleep. Okay. I'm losing my hilariosity. I think we're going to call it a night. I planned on trying to stay up as late as I could before I started to get a little loopy, but I'm already there. So last June we had like a 6. That's pretty bad.
I want a 5.0.
You want a 5.0, but you don't want a earthquake. You want a Mustang. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Illinois is pretty tame, isn't it? Kind of like, especially if you're in southern Illinois, you kind of like are bordering towards not that much snow, right? No, that's still kind of north enough to have quite a bit of snow. Not as north as we are, but I think you get a lot of snow yourself, don't you? Phantom Zone. It was in the middle of the desert. Oh, okay, so that's not so bad. Not too much damage to people or structures. That's good. Okay. This has become the most boring live stream ever in the last few minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up because I'm running out of stuff to talk about. Probably not, but my brain isn't registering stuff to talk about anymore. And my sidekick over here has gotten quiet too, so.
You just stopped talking about funny stuff.
What funny stuff am I supposed to talk about?
Oh, like story number 6.
Story number 6. Oh my God. What am I supposed to look up? Funny stories? That's going to be like stories like this. What do you call a snail on a ship? A snailer. You shake your head like, yeah, like stuff like that. That's funny. 50 funny short stories that will crack you up. I said crap. You up in 60 seconds? Did I say 60 seconds 3 times? This should be disastrous. That or this, like, I hate when they be like, this is the funniest thing you'll ever see. And then it's really, really awful. Like that. Number 6. Will give you great dreams. I'm in Baltimore and New York for 8 months out of the year, and the rest of the time I'm in Ireland. Lucky. The weather is mostly fine between all 3 places, just more than rain in Ireland. Okay, Ireland is on my bucket list. I am 51% Irish. And then you can sprinkle in a bunch of stuff. And Pacific Islander. Yeah. How many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh? 8? Is there an actual answer to this, or are you asking for science? It's for science. You could end all of your sentences like that. All right, Kling. We're going to venture into the deep, dark unknown of the nighttime. Somehow my microphone's getting more and more sideways. I don't know if I've moved a lot or... I don't know. We're just going to go with it because it's fine. It's fine. Okay, this first story is called Now That's What I Call Stupid. This should be great. In my junior year of high school, this guy asked me on a date. He rented a Redbox movie and made a pizza. We're watching the movie. The oven beeped, so the pizza was done. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "This is the worst part." I then watched this boy open the oven and pull the pizza out with his bare hands, rack and all, screaming at the top of his lungs. We never had a second date. You mean every time he gets a pizza out of the oven, he does the same thing? He takes the whole rack out and he doesn't use any pot holders. He just pulls the whole rack out of the oven. Oh my god. Pizza's done. Wouldn't you just never make pizza if that was your only way to make pizza? Is that way? Holy crap. Please tell me you guys all know about oven mitts. God. You should definitely go.
I'm Cherokee too.
The whole reason I got a DNA test was to find out how much Indian I am. Spoiler alert. Absolutely none.
I'm Irish, Cherokee, and my great-grandma was from Canada, which means she probably come from England.
Wait, did you not hear the whole story I just read to you? Tentacles. Oh my god, tentacles. Bree, at what point did you start listening? Are you listening live? Did you all hear the story about the guy who took the pizza out of the oven? Please tell me you heard it. I'm going to wait for responses to make sure you guys could hear it. What is happening? So are you at the beginning or are you joining us right now? Did everyone hear the last story I just read? It made me laugh so hard I couldn't breathe. Jack and Enoff. Jacking off. Aw, hi Duchess. Hi.
It's a wacky name.
That's a wacky name. Oh, okay. So did everyone hear? I'm gonna tell me you guys heard the pizza story. So I found hilarious stories to read because our last set of stories were absolutely disgusting and so gross that we started laughing and making inappropriate jokes. So I looked up funny stories. And the first one is, in my junior year of high school, this guy asked me on a date. He rented a movie and made a pizza. We are watching the movie and the oven beeped, so we knew that the pizza was done. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "This is the worst part." I then watched this boy open the oven and pull the pizza out with his bare hands, rack and all, screaming at the top of his lungs. I can't even breathe. So that means that he didn't use any oven mitts or anything. He just screams, "Ah!" the whole time he's taking pizza out. And that's how he always takes the pizza out of the oven. Always. Oh my God. Grab that rack and put it on your lap. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's a good indicator right there. Fake report card. I failed the first quarter of a class in the middle of school, so I made a fake report card. And I did this every quarter that year. I forgot that they mail home end of year cards, and my mom got it before I could intercept it with my fake one. She was pissed at the school for their error. The teacher also retired that year and had already thrown out his records, so he had to take my mother's proof that the fake ones that I made throughout the year were correct and correct the mistake, and I never told her the truth. Wow! Is this written by Ferris Bueller? I went to this girl's party the week after she beat the shit out of my friend. And while everyone was getting trashed, I went around putting tuna inside all the curtain rods. So weeks went by and they couldn't figure out why the house smelled like festering death. And they caught me through this video where these guys at the party were singing Beyonce while I'm in the background with a can of tuna. That is awesome. Oh my God. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Wow. You put tuna fish inside of the curtain rods? You wouldn't know that for a long time. That would drive me crazy because I can smell everything, and I will tear a room apart until I cannot. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's so funny. They go back and be like, "Hey, what's that girl doing in the background?"
She's filling our rods of tuna.
Oh my God. Oh God. Oh Jesus. These are pretty funny. If you're just joining us, we're reading stories of insanity because that's where the night has taken us. This one's titled How to Win at Video Games. These have all been pretty funny so far, so don't let me down, number 4. I'm scared to get to number 6. When I was little, I would go on a Nickelodeon.com all the time, and they had this game similar to Club Penguin, except it was called Nicktropolis. And if you forgot your password, a security question, you could choose, "What is your eye color?" And if you got it right, it'd tell you your password. So I would go to popular locations in Nicktropolis and write down random usernames who were also in those areas. And then I would log out and type in their username as if it were my own and see which of these usernames had a security question set to "What is your eye color?" which was most of them, since it was an easy question, and these were all kids. So I would then try either brown, blue, or green, and always get in. And then I would go into their fake house on the website and send all of their furniture and decorations to my own account. And if I didn't want it, I could sell it for money. Wow. That's a gangster move right there, Nicktropolis. Wow. That's really smart. Kind of a dick move, but it was really smart. All right, drama at my drama class. Please be funny. And I just saw the title, the number 6, and I don't think anyone's going to get disappointed. Anyway, one time my drama class's teacher had gone home sick, so we were just put in a classroom with a movie to entertain us for the period when an alarm went off. None of us were sure if it was a fire alarm or a lockdown alarm, so we all head out in the hallway to check out. No one's out there. So we head back in and climb under our desks as is lockdown procedure. Cut to an hour or so later when a teacher bursts in and nearly dies of relief because the school was on fire and we were the only students not accounted for, and half the faculty and fire department had been searching for us for ages. Literally, the whole school had been filled with smoke while we'd been under our wooden desks. Oh my God, that's not funny. It's terrifying. Number 6. I can't even say it. I drew a penis with a glue stick on the whiteboard. My whole class once got detention because I drew a penis with a glue stick on the whiteboard, and when the teacher went to wipe off the board, all the stuff came off and stuck to the glue, and I never got in trouble for it because my whole class found it so funny that they didn't tell the teacher it was me. So that means
Awesome.
all the colors were like all over the glue.
Yeah, when you went to wipe it stuck.
Oh my God. That's a boss move right there.
I'd have also spelled out Mr. So-and-so is a, then had that picture.
I would just drawn something funny like a potato with horrible like googly cross-eyed and like thurr. Oh my God. Number 7, the day my teacher stole my headphones. During my sophomore year of high school, we were doing silent work, and my history teacher said that we could listen to music, but if it was too loud, he would break our headphones. So I'm doing my work quietly with my music on low, and this obnoxious kid sitting next to me had his music on really loud, and I could hear it over my music, but I ignored it. But my teacher thought it was me, so he came up to me and ripped my brand new Apple headphones, looking ruthless. He suddenly realized it was the guy next to me, and he was completely embarrassed. He came in the next day with a new pair and an apology note taped to them, and he couldn't look me in the eye for the rest of the year. That's not funny. But number 8 is titled, Oh, Semen. When I was in high school, I was pretty quiet around people who weren't my friends. The high school's wrestling coach also taught geometry, and he was my teacher. This resulted in a lot of wrestlers skipping class and barging into our classroom to hang out and not get in trouble. One day, 7 wrestlers come in yelling about new wrestling uniforms and how excited they were. When they go over and pull out the uniforms, the whole class is kind of side-eyeing them. Even without what I mentioned next, the suits look funny. I mean, it's tight royal blue spandex with a suspender-style top. Absolutely funny already. But the wrestlers grabbed the uniforms and rushed out of the room to go change in the bathroom and come back to show them off, which is also hysterical because spandex hides absolutely nothing and you could see all of their junk. And we live in a town called Ocean City, commonly abbreviated as OC. And on the back of the spandex uniform it says Ocean City Men in large letters, except they use the abbreviation. On the back it says OC Men which isn't awful. But then I sounded out in my head, "Oh, seamen. Oh, seamen." I almost spit out the water I was drinking. Now you know that they got ragged on every time they wore those uniforms. Oh no. The story's not over. I looked around frantically trying to find out who I can tell because I didn't have any friends to tell in this class. I turned to the girl next to me and I had no idea who she was and never talked to her before. Told her what I found and we both cracked up. And the whole time she saw me as the quiet teacher's pet who was shy as hell. And the first words out of my mouth were, "It says, oh, seaman." And we've been best friends for 7 years. Okay. That was really long and could have been much shorter. Anybody still here? Hey, Roger. Why not? We already had all the other bodily fluids. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. It says, ow, my shit. When I was a kid, I was excited to learn new vocabulary. When I was in first grade, my teacher taught me that shin was another word for leg. Okay. I think I see where this is headed. Later that day, I was walking with my mom and I tripped and hit my leg on the ground really hard. Yelled out, "Ow, my shin." Although my mom heard, "Ow, my shit." She started yelling about how that was a bad word and we didn't say that word and she's going to wash my mouth out with soap. And I was crying, bawling mess of a child to the point I was doing that weird cry, stutter, hiccup noise. She paused and berated me and said, "Who taught you that word?" And of course, I'm like, "My teacher taught me that word." And she started ranting about how she was going to call the school and get the teacher yelled at. And I tried to explain that the teacher said that shin meant leg, and I'm sorry. I'll never say it again. And then my mom got quiet and realized her mistake. Of course, I start crying harder and I said, "No, it's just a test. You're going to wash my mouth out with soap again." Later, the mother apologized and she realized her mistake. Okay, come on. Come on. I have a friend I've known since I was very little. One day when he was 6, I was at his house when he got this absolutely god-awful stomach pain. And I mean, he was literally writhing in pain. So his mom took him to the doctor's office. The doctor took one look and told him to take him to the ER. She feared something along the lines of an intestinal rupture. And about halfway to the hospital, my friend suddenly let rip the loudest, most powerful fart any of us had ever heard. And I swear to God, he levitated. We thought about the upholstery in the car and thought it had ripped. After a good 30 seconds of intense farting, he looked at his mom and said, "I feel all better now." I'm going to skip that one. I don't know. The first few ones were really funny. Now I feel like it's fading into crap territory really fast. Is the stream still on? I can't see the screen. Oh. Oh, semen and hemorrhoids and firearms. Oh my. Hey, Zena. Hey. The whole school thought I was going to star on Drake and Josh. Oh God. I smell a big fat lie coming on from a kid. In second grade, I told everyone I was leaving school before next semester to move to Hollywood to play Megan's cousin from Vermont on Drake and Josh. And at first, I just told my best friend. But then the whole school found out. And I had people coming up to me and asking me for my autograph, and a teacher even asked for a picture with me. And when I showed up on the first day of school in third grade, I told everyone that the show was going off the air after the season finished, even though I had no knowledge of when it was ending, and so they wouldn't need me. And the show ended after that season, and everyone believed me until like 6th grade, but now my best friend will never let me forget about it. Fucking kids. Uh-oh. The husband's eye looks like it's going to fall out of his head. I need to wrap it up. He looks so tired. All right. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. We're going to wrap this up. I'm scared to go into any other territory. But I know that you just got back, Zena, but there's plenty for you to listen back to. It's been a long day here. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Looking forward to going to sleep. Busted. Little stinkers. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I hope everybody that's a mom has a good Mother's Day, at least relaxing Mother's Day. If your moms aren't with you, I hope you do something nice in honor of said mother or in honor of yourself. Treat yourself tomorrow. Treat yourself kindly. And if you don't have a mom in your life, be the mom that you wish you had. How about that? I'll say that. I hope everybody has a really good rest of their evening, whoever's not going to go to bed, because we're already in the bed and we're going right to sleep. Thank you for hanging out with me, Immunity. It's pretty awesome. He's already getting in position to go to sleep immediately.
Miracle Whip out.
Miracle Whip is got his lid on and ready to be.
Pick up my guitar and play some songs for you tomorrow.
Yes. All right. I'm not going to make sense anymore. All right. To all the good moms, thank you. And for all the bad moms, you're what we write stories about. Father's Day's coming up. Tomorrow's about the mamas. You know, you could if you don't have beware of number 6. If you're listening back and just joining us, beware of number 6. And I swear to God.
You're welcome.
And you're welcome, by the way, for some of it. Sorry about some of the other stuff. That's all I'm going to say if you're just now joining us. Okay. All right. So, hopefully I'll have a video for you Wednesday. Squeeze some time in there and make sure it happens for you, okay? Okay. All right. Thanks for joining me. And as always, if you're new here, we have a sarcastically hilarious or whatever way of saying goodbye. But I really do appreciate you guys coming and listening. But I'm really just going to keep rambling now because I've gone into hyper tired. Whatever you call it. Stupid tired? I don't know. Ludicrous tired. Well, have we stopped yet? Too hot. All right. Don't listen to E. Okay. All right. We're going to wrap it up and I'm going to say good night. Thank you for joining me. And as always, bye. 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 Bye.